All girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
Yeah, baby.
All girly drinks, we drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
Well, that's a better start than it was 2 nights ago when I had Chase on.
Yeah, you struggled that
I had all kinds of things happening. My voicemail was messed up. My thing didn't want to do right, but we got it all under control. So welcome back, everybody, on a Thursday night, another happy hour live stream. I was just telling Todd and Mal, I cannot believe it's Thursday already, which is always a good thing, but I feel like this week has definitely taken off on me somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys thought it was a fast week or a slow week, but to me, it felt like really quick.
This week actually has felt pretty fast.
Yeah.
This was my first week going back to work, so.
Yeah, compared to most of them, they always seem kind of draggy. Till about Wednesday. I don't know about Wednesday. Then it's, Wednesday night when I get home, then it's like, okay, we're good now.
Now we're good. We're all set.
It's all good.
So how was the work returning to the brewery? How was that for you?
Well,
was it?
Right now I'm just kind of getting acclimated to the space again because it's been like 2.5 months and I'm still having trouble being around large amounts of people.
Yeah.
And kind of filling in the staff on what's been going on with me because I'm not embarrassed about what's going on. I was just sick, like nasty sick. So, yeah, it's taken a little time. I'm not quite ready to fully take over duties, but I'm going to start with just like the emails and scheduling and stuff like that. Start with some of the administrative stuff and kind of work my way back in. And my staff has been amazing. They're all super sweet about it. And yeah, so I adore my staff. They're taking care of me. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being around large amounts of people sometimes either, though, Mal. I don't know. Can I?
Well, normally I'm fine
can I get a good drug for that?
Normally I'm fine with it. It's just, I used to run concerts and I used to MC things. Like I never really had a big problem with it, but unfortunately, this particular issue has made it really, really hard for me to be around a lot of people or to reach out and stuff. So it's been problematic to say the least.
Yeah. Well, at least you're step by step, right? At least you're making a return back, so that's a good thing.
When you don't know every 20 minutes if you're going to have a panic attack, it makes things a little difficult, So
what probably doesn't help it if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that actually feeds into it. If you're anxious about the fact that you might have a panic attack, you're probably going to have a panic attack. So I have to keep myself as distracted as humanly possible without overworking myself and setting myself off anyway. It's a fine line to walk and it's very difficult, but it's all thyroid related, which unfortunately also messes with my digestion and my metabolism. So I've been having fun on that end too. It's not been pleasant to say the least.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're on the back end of it now, which
I spent
is a good thing.
A good 2 months in the armchair, not speaking to anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm just starting to come out of my shell now, and it's been scary and difficult. And I'll keep doing my best. So.
Well, small victories. You can drink beer now again, so that's a good thing.
I can drink beer now. I kind of overboard, but yes.
Yeah. So we're on the right path back in that regard. So speaking of concerts, anybody who does Charlie XCX person is, artist, Charlie X something?
Yeah, XCX.
Yeah, so you know who it is, Todd? Or apparently she's playing. I know there's a female artist she's playing across the street, but she's packing them into the arena over there. So
just heard of her on the radio and stuff. So
yeah, I never heard. I didn't even. I've still never listened to a radio station since being here in Baltimore because I have satellite, so it's always satellite that I'm listening to. I wouldn't. If somebody says, "What's your best station there for?" Blah blah blah. I couldn't tell you. I never listened to it. Never listened to it. I can tell you what's on XM. If you're looking for something. Cheers, Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Cheers, Carol.
This is my mother. Hi.
Oh, hey. Hey, Mama Mal. Listen, my body no longer absorbs vitamins correctly. Yeah, Vanessa's been through her issues for sure there too, and dealing with the illnesses that come your way sometimes, and going through life, right? So I'm going to crack open a beer because I'm actually pretty thirsty right now. So I'm just going with an old staple right now, the old Allagash White. So something you can depend on. You know what it's going to be. It doesn't change. It stays as it is. So if you guys are cracked, Todd, I think you poured something already.
I did, yeah. We just finished shooting a couple of videos, so I just cracked one open.
Look at that. You guys are rolling them out right now. This is hot, Carol.
We had to shoot one when I got home from work to put one out for tonight. So and then we went in and made another one while we were ready.
Look at them. They got a schedule and everything.
She's put them out on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
We almost sound like pros.
She was sick earlier this week, so we didn't have a chance to shoot any. So we had to hurl it and do one to get it out for tonight. So it's out there now if anybody, So the one I drink is from Trogues Independent Brewing Field Study Summer IPA.
Oh, okay.
She'll probably move the camera when she comes down. A little bit closer there.
Yeah, a little closer. Field Study IPA.
Yeah. 6.2 ABV, and it is brewed with Citra, Mosaic, and El Dorado. It says the summer seasonal.
Yeah, I forgot it because was that one of the Jungle Gyms pickup? Because you do get Trogues coming through there.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
So this one was $2.49 for a single. So
nice.
Not bad.
You can get some good amount of singles there.
Oh, we bought a ton of singles while we were there.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, now we're in that point of we bought quite a few IPAs. Although she wants to start trying IPAs, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna probably drink some of them tonight because I know it's released. Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and drink those. It's like, plus you need to drink some of them sooner.
Yeah, move them to the front of the line.
Right.
What about you, Mal? What did you got there?
I have a new one from Ravinia Brewing Company, my own place. Yes. It's called Keep Vic a Secret.
Oh.
They're calling it an Australian pale ale. So
Australian.
One of our owners, we have 4 owners. One of our owners is from Australia, and I was told that the ingredients in this are all Australian. So they made it full, but it's a pale ale, 5.3%, 36 IBUs. I did try this one already just because as I've been coming into the tap room, I've been trying to acclimate myself to the beers that were new since I've been gone. And this one, it's juice forward, but it has a big old bite to it, a grapefruit rind bite to it at the end. But definitely kind of a tropic juicy on the front. It's quite nice, actually. Pale ale. I mean, unfiltered as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty tasty.
Nice, very nice.
I would say this one leans more towards the pale ale too, because it's not very bitter. So I think she'll like this one for an IPA.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Did Vanessa say the docs knew about the vitamin problem, but only recently told me I'm looking for beers next week? Or did Vanessa just change the topic? Like she's looking for beers next week?
No, the doctors told her that she was going to be looking for beers. So she's not taking the vitamins. That she needs to get more beer.
Or it was just the docs told me about the vitamin problem, but only recently told me, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like my explanation better.
You like that one better?
Yeah. I like the doctor said you're not getting enough vitamins. Go find beer.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful.
You give me some. Is it vitamin?
And if
vitamin.
The name of her doctor, I'm signing up.
Yeah. I was trying to think the vitamins in beer. Isn't like a vitamin, one of the vitamin D's, or is it an E in there? There are some vitamins in beer.
It's one of the B's.
One of the B's. Okay.
I thought it was one of the B's.
Yeah. So another reason to drink beer for your healthiness.
Well, she says fruit servings through the smoothie sours.
Well, smoothie sours. I mean, that counts as a fruit drink, right?
Yeah,
like,
She says he gets his fruit servings through his smoothie sours. So
I've been trying to convince people at work, trying to convince management, hey, if it's a coffee stout, technically it's still a coffee.
Technically,
I should be able to have one here 10 o'clock in the morning at work. I don't know why you're sweating me right now.
Well, I can't function without coffee.
This is it. Trying to watch for my dang med issues. The ZVA audio video appointment never happened today because the VA doc never signed in. They tried to accuse me of a no-show. So they didn't sign in. They tried to say you didn't sign in.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. How come doctors, if you cancel an appointment for some doctors within 24 hours, you can still be charged a fee?
Oh, yeah.
But if they cancel it, how come they don't give you like something back?
They should.
They should. Like you set yourself aside, and I've seen where doctors have canceled appointments. Like the clients, the patients never get anything back.
I feel like if your appointment's at 9 o'clock, you know you're not going to get seen until 9:30, quarter till. So it's like there's 45 more minutes of my time that you just wasted that I've lost at work also, and they don't recoup that either for you. So it's like
there should be a fee for not being on time because they put too many people on their schedule and it
exactly
ends up going over. Yeah,
which I get, but it's like at that point I get frustrated because I'm like, now you think your time is more important than my time is.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing is, like with doctors, I mean, someone can go in for an average checkup and then they notice something wrong, and all of a sudden that takes an extra 20 minutes to a half hour because, you know, something's wrong and they have to talk to that person about it and deal with it. It's like you can't judge how a doctor's appointment's actually going to go. So sometimes I can see where they get pushed back, you know?
No, I mean, I get that's understandable, but I feel like they schedule them too close together to begin with.
Yeah.
Allow them
I think it happens too many times than it should.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that if that's the case, like they don't even come to tell you that. So how would you know? You know, now you're just mad because you think they're late.
Yeah. You ever go through stuff when you're sitting in a room waiting for a doctor to come in? Like they come in and the nurse will check you in and ask you the question and say, "Oh, the doctor will be right in to see you." And then you're in there for like 10 minutes. Like you ever like get up and walk around, like look in cabinets or anything? You just sit there on a chair like the whole thing.
Dude, that's what I got a phone for, man. I'm on the phone.
Well, you need a phone, but it's like, you know, you're just sitting in a room. Well, you know, you might get bored, but like, I wonder what they keep in this drawer. I wonder what they keep over here. I wonder what this is, you know.
I mean,
like if they came in, would they be pissed off at you? Like, well, look, you left me in here for 10 minutes.
You're right. Exactly.
You're the one that wasn't here. I'm going to entertain myself.
I'm not going to say I haven't done that before, but
yeah.
I'm usually reading a book while I'm waiting, so.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I've never actually done that, but I usually have a phone like that now. But back in the day, when you might just be in there and they would like have magazines or something on the table, and it's just like just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, essentially, right? So, but yeah, I don't feel like they could really be mad if you did that because that's their fault. That's on them. Should have been here. You should have been here.
Well, tell me you're not touching all the sanitized stuff, right? You're not like unwrapping packages and sticking your hand in where little tongue compressors are and stuff. You're not doing that, are you?
Yeah, try them out and then just stick them back in the
now that you put that out there, these viewers might be like, you know what? Maybe I'll do that next time.
Don't you dare. That's awful.
It wouldn't be on the doctors, right? Like, you know, it'd still be their fault.
Why is this tongue depressor already open? Never mind. I'm good. You don't have to check.
Just go in there and start unwrapping all of the sanitized things. And just
right.
On the counter when they walk in. I like opening things. I have a channel where I do openings.
Yeah, I'm doing an unboxing video of everything right now for YouTube. Just unboxing everything.
Yep. Yes. You're unboxing the doctor's office. Actually,
I bet the next time. I bet if he did it though, the next time the doctor would be on time.
I
think
you'd be finding yourself a new doctor.
Yeah, or somebody will be sitting there with you the whole time till the doctor showed up.
Like, my appointment was at 9. It's now 9:15. Let's see what they have in the office.
Yeah.
A new segment.
It's like when you were a kid and you would make stuff out of the popsicle sticks. You got all the tongue dispensers and you're making something out of it in the doctor's office. How'd you even get Elmer's glue in here? Don't worry about that. I need some more tongue dispensers though. You have any more on hand?
Yeah, I need a little cabin.
Yeah. Signed it several times, gave up, sent a secure message telling them. So they're on the phone. So trying to call me. I didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Technology doesn't always technology. What's up, East Coast? Tanner in the house. Cheers, my friend.
Hi.
Happy Thursday. Most stock offices I have been in have everything locked up, every cabinet and drawer. Yeah, so I never I never tried to pull the drawers or something open, but you know, the cotton balls are out there, the little tongue dispensers are out there.
I've been to some that lock everything, and I've been to some that don't. So, I mean, and I only know that they lock them because the doctor will actually like unlock a cabinet to get something out. So, or like when the person who's like taking a blood sample or something, they'll go through the cabinets and have to unlock everything. So, I've seen both kinds though.
See Vanessa right there. Build a frisbee out of a tongue depressor. So you can do that in the doctor's office while you're waiting. If you have all the right material, you'd be like MacGyver in there. Build a frisbee.
Yeah. Rubber band.
A little ease.
You can do your own exams.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of locking up, who the hell is stealing all this shampoo in places? Went to the grocery stores last weekend, and I think shampoo even locked up.
Okay, I did not hear about this. What?
Yeah, like, you know, like certain things get locked up in grocery stores now. Like shampoo was locked up. Like, who's stealing that much shampoo that you got to lock it? Like, what's the value on the black market for shampoo? That's what I'm curious about.
I feel like it's the most things they lock up now. It's like
they
need to hand you a key as you walk in just so you can go shopping.
Yeah, it's like deodorant gets locked up. I literally went to CVS to pick up a prescription last weekend, and I had to buzz the person to come over to get me a couple packs of the gummies out of the candy cane. Like, you get all the gummies are like behind glass, like free me, and it's like, why are you locking up the gummies? What do they do? You don't lock up these Stover candy. I guess nobody wants the Stover because they leave those out, but you're locking up the Lifesaver gummies and everything. So it's a choice selection of what gets locked up. Reese's get locked up, Snickers gets locked up, Milky Ways are locked up, but then there's some candy that they just go out there like, oh, take that. We don't care about those candies, you know.
It's going back to like the old service merchandise days. Did you guys have those stores?
Yes. Yeah, I remember service. Yeah, service merchandise. Yeah.
They had everything behind glass, and if you want something, you just pick it out, and you had to take a ticket up to the register, and they would go behind like like in their warehouse and get the stuff for you and bring it back out, and you pay for it right there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the online ordering and curbside pickup will trump that.
Oh no, I mean I'm sure it will, but yeah, with the stuff getting locked up now, just for those little things, it almost kind of reminds me of the way it used to be at service.
Yeah. I mean, they lock up detergent now. Like, I've seen detergent locked up. Like, seriously, like detergent strapping people that much is getting stole out of here. Like,
right.
It's the weirdest things you see locked up. Like, nobody's stealing the hot dogs, none of the meats, none of the breads, none of that kind of food, but this other stuff, I guess, because it's non-perishable, maybe. I don't know. But apparently there's some markets out there for some things you wouldn't know there'd be markets for. The razors, I can see the razors getting locked up in some spots because razors are damn expensive nowadays. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. We need a razor czar in the White House.
Now,
razor prices down.
When I was a manager with Barnes & Noble, I did learn an interesting thing about shrinkage, which, is theft in the stores and all.
Wait, you said shrinkage?
It's called shrinkage.
Oh, okay. I was thinking something else. A new meaning for shrinkage.
The official term for stores for retail theft is shrinkage, and because it's shrinking your stock without you having the money for it. So, but either way, for Barnes & Noble, across however far they reached out at the time, the number one most stolen book of all time for Barnes & Noble is the Bible.
Really?
The number one most stolen item from Barnes & Noble ever of all time is the Holy Bible.
That makes complete sense, to be honest with you.
Well,
why? You go to a hotel and get it for free in a hotel room.
Well, I figure if someone's stealing it, they really needed it, I guess.
Because I know people find Jesus in different ways, but yeah.
Right. I suspect like they're never gonna think I'm stealing this being a Bible or whatever.
But then, to be fair, the Bibles are, they always have like the leather bound and the fancy edges on the pages. They're actually kind of pricey, strangely enough, and they shouldn't be, honestly, in my opinion. Now there are cheap ones too that are just paperback or whatever, but everyone wants a nice looking Bible, so they were a little more expensive. They're like $30-$40 for the really nice ones. So yeah, it's the number one stolen item from Barnes & Noble of all time.
I bet that is out of the hotels too, I would imagine.
I'm sure out of hotels people are taking Bibles.
Hotels, it's the towels.
Well,
towels and the Bible though there because they put but it's kind of funny like if they're still at a Barnes and like who's the guy on the corners? I got a Bible for sale. I mean who's that person out there peddling the Bible when it's like you go to any church on the street and read it anytime you want to read it. Like why would you have to steal it? Actually, it's just like.
Doesn't make sense.
I buy one from you, but I just got it at the same place you
Say, is nothing sacred still in the Bible now?
Nope.
There's no telling what people take, I guess. But it's interesting just seeing some of the different things you see that used to be just right out there, and now you don't. And of course, then you put that on top where it's like, now you got to wait for somebody to go get the things, and then you go to the right store or maybe the wrong store. And you got to bag your own stuff for you now, too. So it's like, you're doing all the work. You're doing all the work now when you go shopping in spots. Although I will say, I usually, when I go to some spots, I'll do self-checkouts because I don't want to talk to the cash register people as much. As sometimes I get those people that are talkers. Like, you ever you buy food at the grocery store and the person checking you out has never eaten that food? And they're like, oh. What is this? They're holding it up and they're showing it. Like, not show and tell. Put my shit in the bag. You don't got, find out on your own time. You're in the store. You have this stuff. Anytime you want to look around here, you work here. I'm trying to get home. I don't got time for you to go around asking people what this food is. So sometimes I avoid those people just because. And now I see it when they're like on the register when I'm checking out. Like, nope, don't go to that person. Don't go to that person.
Check out.
You go like 3 or 4 times, they feel like you're a friend at that point, and they start sharing other stuff with you. Like, dude, I'm just trying to get out of here. I know I saw you last week, but I ain't got time for all that right now.
Yeah, gotta go.
Cashiers need socialization as well.
I'm sure, but I ain't the one. I'm the customer. You could do HR to tell them your problems.
Dude, all you gotta do is wear earbuds. You don't have to have music playing. If you just wear earbuds, they're not going to bother you.
I would say that doesn't always work because sometimes when you have earbuds in, people be like, they try to get your attention. Like, motherfucker, you don't see I got earbuds in? And then you're like, yes. And they're like, can I just ask you a question? Well, apparently you can because you just did.
Yes,
You can build a snap trap from the tongue depressor to do it snaps and pops apart if you try to pick it up. Surprise. There's a nice little thing to leave behind in the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And what commandment discusses theft, right?
Somewhere between 1 and 10. It's one of those. I know it's one of those.
Maybe that's why they're stealing it, so they'll know for their own information.
Could be.
Did I understand that actually the Bible being the most stolen book, some of the most broken people are also broke. Still doesn't take away the need. Yeah. And welcome back at Adapted. It's been a while, my friend. Great to see you.
Forget that there's a lot of places you can get a free Bible. I mean, like they hand them out all over the place.
That's the thing. It's not like you're stealing like, a Tom Clancy book or, John Grisham or some famous author. I mean, this is like a book you can get almost anywhere. And even some church will just give you the Bible. They'll give you a version of it. So,
yep.
I mean, in their eyes, they are getting it free. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a guy that goes in and steals a 12-pack of Miller Lite. Like, really? If you're going to face a chance with a crime, let's up the stakes a little bit. Let's go a little bit higher on the beer selection. Yeah. Still stealing no matter how down and broke you are. Technically, it is. Technically, it's still stealing. Now, do you penalize everything the same way? Depending if somebody's stealing a loaf of bread because they need it to feed their kids and they don't have anything, it's not the same as someone going in and stealing a PlayStation, right? So there's degrees to it, but technically, yeah. I mean, you're still
I mean, we
breaking
can
the
just
wall
go
there.
old school and cut a hand off, you know.
Old school, they still do that over there in the Middle East and some other countries.
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
I do tend to think it's less common now than it was.
That we know of. Well,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Shannon just hung up her phone. Now their Bluetooth kicked in.
uh-oh. Don't give me a copyright here.
Copyright.
You break your own morals, you soon end up in the dump.
You see that? He starts his own channel. He tries to sabotage yours. See what's
right?
happening?
I mean, he doesn't understand. It says right on there, subsidiary. You're not supposed to take down the parent company. You're a subsidiary.
If that's gonna go wrong, it's gonna be my fault.
No, they start a channel and they start sabotaging all their friends. That's what it is.
As far as the household products, you'd be surprised how the black market works in the streets, at least here in LA. Well, California, that's a whole different beast for sure, because I know San Francisco got ravished.
Yeah.
Skid Row people just get taxed for the GA relief checks and for tenant space rent. Yeah, California is kind of like it's almost own little world out there, but they're the fifth largest economy in the world, too, which is weird. Like, to see them struggling and being the fifth largest economy in the world, you would think they would have some type of support structure in place, but how much support do you give out for support in that regard too? Which is kind of interesting too, because we got the hurricane that we're dealing with, and obviously shout out to all the people down there in Florida and Georgia and Carolinas. Hopefully you guys are all safe.
Yes.
But it's kind of interesting when I see their officials come on, like saying we're working with FEMA to do this and we're doing this to, make sure we get help and assistance, all that kind of stuff, which is great. I'm all for that. But then when it's not like hurricane season, they're all against assistance in those states, which is kind of funny to actually sit back and watch in a way. So, what if you steal a Bible and pray for forgiveness? Do you get off with that one?
Yeah. Of course.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You can pray for forgiveness, but you still stole the item. However, according to the Catholic religion, you can go in and get your sins repent by going to confessional. So maybe you go in there and your slate's clear that way. I don't know if the law is going to believe that. The law might still come after you.
The religion, some of them, don't you have to return the item first and then ask for forgiveness?
I don't think so. When I went to Catholic school, it's just like, I think if you did the sin and you admitted to it or whatever in the confessional, at least when I was going to Catholic school, it was kind of like.
I know what Catholic does. I'm aware of that one. I'm saying like some of the others, maybe like a Lutheran or a Protestant, or I don't know what other ones there are, but like, don't they have like you have to give it back first, or you can't just say, "Oops, sorry."
Well, what if you sold it? You can't give it back if you don't have it. Or if you do another sin where you can't return it.
Well, don't you have to, then repent for selling it too?
Yeah, I guess. Well, the only one I know that says, okay, your slate's all clear is Catholic. That's the only one I know that does that. So
yeah.
I don't know what the other rules are for the other ones, but.
Old-timey Irish religion had a person who was a sin eater. Have you heard of that?
A sin eater? No.
Yeah. It's a person who would travel from community to community when people died, and the family would lay out food around the body, and that person would eat all that food from around the body, and effectively eating all of that person's sins, therefore they're getting into heaven. That was a thing.
Is that like on the black internet or what? The dark internet?
No, it's like, it's not Druid, but it's one of the
just like said it at first. I'm like, is there an internet I don't know about?
No, it's like
I was going to say, that's what I was saying. What's that one? I want to get on that one.
The dark web.
No, it's like an old Irish Scottish tradition or something. I heard about it somewhere. I can't remember where I heard about it, but yeah, there was a sin eater. It was a guy who was willing to go to hell for you. And he would eat all your sins, and your soul would be saved no matter what. You were going to heaven, no matter how bad you were.
I think that guy didn't believe in hell.
You sure this is like a Chappelle? You sure this isn't a Chappelle skit when it's got the guy that's like, "Hey, you got any more of that?" No, that's interesting. I wonder what religion and stuff that was with the sinning. I would never Well, I would never do that anyway. But you sit around eating food around a dead body, like you got to go around a dead body, like.
Well, yeah, the food would be laid out on and around the body, and you would have to stay there all night, crying. You'd have to be like sobbing and grieving or whatever while you eat all this food, and then you leave the next day, and the soul is free to go to heaven. So,
Well,
but I used to read and listen to a ton of stuff about like myths and legends and stuff. So yeah, it was just something I heard somewhere, and I always found it really interesting that some guy would eat food off a dead body so they could go to heaven. I was like, I think he was using it for a free meal.
I'd be like, he's already dead.
Because he wouldn't get paid for it. He would just eat all the food, you know? Like,
I'm like, he's gonna have to be.
I'm not judging.
I'm like, he's gonna have to be hot down there because I ain't eating that food. Give him the food. I'm gonna have a barbecue.
Gotta reap what he sowed. I'm not eating none of that.
We have our elected officials to thank for that. So many council members got convicted of property crimes and fraud. Raymond Chain, Hoosier, Ridley, Thomas, and Price in England. Yeah. Well, shit. What about the New York mayor, New York City mayor, got 5 federal indictments against him for taking money on the lam now. It's like,
well,
politicians.
Unadapted. I don't know.
Unadapted's been on both. He's been here before. He's been a while since he's been back though. So, yeah.
Adapted.
But yeah, I can't, money and politics, they've been together for how long now? So unfortunately, you're still going to get some of that shadiness. That's like one of those things, like when Eddie Murphy did that movie about the, what was in the movie? He was the congressman. What's the movie he did when he went to Congress? And it's like, if you actually watch that movie and it's like, it basically just talks about all the basically corruption that takes place. Distinguished gentleman.
Yeah.
And he was so surprised that people were like just handing him envelopes of money, like, and he's just got to vote this way. This money's all yours. And there's like all the Congress people are going along with it. And even though he's making fun of it, it's just like there's so many politicians that get caught up in that. Yeah. Pay the Pope enough and he granted your forgiveness. Does the Pope even get paid though? He gets all the protection.
Hey, he doesn't get paid maybe in money, but he gets paid in lifestyle.
Well, we talked about before the Pope got in trouble. We talked about that last week. Like Pope went out to try to actually feed people and do stuff. He got in trouble for it. Like if that's not the most Christian thing to do, I don't know what is anymore. Like I don't know.
He's getting in trouble for doing what Jesus did, which was kind of the whole point. Come on.
Sometimes you just sit back and look at the world and you shake your head like, I don't know what's happening right now. I just don't know.
But I got to give him props because he kept doing it. Like after he got in trouble, he got caught like 2 more times trying to do it. He kept trying. He was like, no, fuck you. Well, you probably didn't say that, but you know what I mean. He's like, no, forget you.
He may have been Italian.
No, he's from South America.
No, the Pope's not American.
No, South America.
South America. Is he Central America?
Yeah, the current Pope is from either South or Central America.
I thought he had like a Italian native language, but maybe it's South America. Maybe it's one of the
Central America sounds right.
And it's one of the Spanish variations. And
aren't they always like short white dudes though?
Well, I mean, he's from Argentina.
Yeah, so Spanish, yeah.
So yeah, he's from Argentina.
But
the one before him wasn't short though, but they didn't like him at all. He got him out real quick.
No, Argentina's South America.
South America.
Yeah.
But he was, I don't know if he's the first, but he's one of the first that's from this side of the world.
Yeah.
So, how do you become the Pope?
Well, the Cardinals, they elect you basically.
Yeah. Work your way up through the churches, and then all the Cardinals at the end, and they elect one to be.
That sounds like a hard. Yeah. No thanks.
Well, one in the whole world, so yeah, it's kind of difficult.
Aubrey cracking open his first beer. Cheers, Aubrey, my friend. What are you drinking? Yeah, what are you guys drinking? Let us know in the comments what you're drinking out there too.
Did you tell them about the beer we reviewed earlier?
Which one?
The chips and the dip.
Hey, Aubrey.
we reviewed
No, we didn't talk about that yet. Go ahead.
A chips and a dip beer. Chips and dip beer.
That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hour. Got the card right there.
Did
Oh
it
yeah.
like
It's
chips and
Fox
dip?
Brewing Company. Look at how I make little cards over all of our beers.
Do you? There you go.
Oh, that's stuff that I
Well,
know.
no, I like to have my information.
I know, I was just teasing.
Yes, I'm like, if there's a question, I want to be able to answer it in my mind, not anybody else's question. But yeah, it was chips and dip beer, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that one. We got it at Jungle Jim's. It was spicy.
Well, as it warmed up, it got spicier.
Well, I don't know. It was spicy.
Hey, Shannon, I keep cards too, so you're doing all right.
Yes. What do you put on your cards?
Details around the beer sometimes, just so I have it in front of me, just in case I want to relate back to it. Because I don't want to do it and be like looking down at the screen and not looking at the people. So I usually have something like right here where I can actually look at it, and I'll look like I'm still looking at the screen and not really looking down at the card or whatever.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I told God. I'm like, we need to know this, and we can talk about it while we're opening and pouring the beer, so we can shorten the length of our video instead of being like, hey, blah blah blah, and then pour it, and
Yeah, we still got to work on the length of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it 6 minutes and under.
Cheers, Simo. Simo up late for us tonight. He actually said fairly sure sin eating was a Celtic thing from way back in the day.
Oh,
I knew it
Okay.
was either Irish or Scottish. I just couldn't recall. And which, I mean, obviously there's separate sects of the Celts in those two countries. So, and British. I mean,
The mayor had trouble at the police chief. Yeah, they all got trouble. Like, when the FBI comes out, and they're going to search your shit and you're like a political figure, they got stuff on you.
Yeah,
so it's just like, you're already screwed at that point.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's just only a matter of time.
It's like if FBI shows up at any point in time, you're done.
Yeah.
They're not coming unless they already know.
But if you're a politician, they know you have the means to defend yourself.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have some legit shit.
I just mean in general, though. It's like,
yeah.
no, those weren't my drugs. And the next thing you know, the FBI they're like,
Hey.
son of a bitch, I guess they were. Okay.
Those were 5,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, that's not my baby oil. I don't know where those come from.
Oh, I knew we'd get back to P. Diddy at some point here. Yeah, that's the whole biggest thing about Pete. Like, what do you do with a thousand bottles of baby oil?
Right.
I mean, you have more than a lot of department stores have in stock at your house. Like,
Did you see his attorney got up and talked? I don't know if it was a press conference or if they just caught him and he spoke about that. And I remember last week my explanation I would give about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and they were like, I was at TikTok and it was like his explanation was kind of odd, but he said that he got up there and they asked him about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and he was like, well, a lot of people buy it in bulk these days. They go to Costco and Sam's, and that was his attorney's explanation for the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Yeah,
that's a lot of.
Regardless, that's a slippery question you're asking there.
That's a lot. It's a lot of bulk to be buying in. So I mean, a thousand bottles. Yeah, but it's kind of interesting now. All these celebrities are coming out with their little stories and stuff and like that. And one thing,
the baby oil was for all his temporary tattoos that he's removing all the time. He puts on a temporary tattoo and then he doesn't like it and he takes it off, and then that's what it's for. He has an obsession with temporary tattoos.
Yeah, we're not going to go with that one. But the celebrities were coming out I think it was D.L. Hughley came to a point. He's like, you know what? If you actually were there and you were letting this all go on, you're not a witness. You're an accomplice.
Yeah.
Because you could have said anything at any time and you just let whatever was happening there happen. So, But I'm also finding it funny all the artists are coming out saying they were never at a P. Diddy party. So that's been interesting too.
I have a take, but I have a take, with the whole, the P. Diddy thing now and then the Jeffrey Epstein thing. It's like those people, yes, they had those lifestyles, but just because you were at a party. They're not going to have a huge party. I mean, that's something you don't just show everybody. Like at those parties.
He had a lot of
I'm
people.
sure they had
LeBron
smaller
James talked about how fun the P. Diddy party was. He did that video like years ago, and that's coming out now. And now people are like, well, what were you doing over there, LeBron? And now LeBron's like, yeah.
I need some baby lotion.
Yeah.
He sold out, so I knew where to go get some.
I mean, LeBron was slip sliding away over there too, apparently. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Once you start sliding, right? So it'll be interesting because you know what happens. Once it gets to court and the stories start coming out, that'll be like real like entertainment for a lot of people to sit there and watch. Kind of like when we had the Johnny Depp trial, right? That'll be the next big trial. Will be P. Diddy in court, and people will be watching it.
See, I learned my lesson with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I watched like a Netflix documentary on it, and it was so disturbing. I've like with the P. Diddy thing, I have not watched anything that's like in depth of what they're actually accusing him of. I saw the video with him beating that girl that was trying to get on the elevator, which was months ago. But now I'm like, the Epstein thing disturbed me so much that I don't think I even want to know the P. Diddy thing. Like, all I know is he's been accused of trafficking and SA, and I'm like.
Well, one thing that Janice noticed is his lawyer is actually the lawyer that defended that cult up in New York too. So
what?
that ended up the cult that ended up going to the jail that were doing like trafficking. The one the chick was from. What show was she a part of? Lois, Superman show. She was like the reporting chick on there, the blonde.
I know what you're talking about.
Smallville?
Yes.
Smallville. Yeah, she was actually in Smallville as part of that cult. Well, the lawyer represented P. Diddy, represented that cult. I'm like, well, his track record isn't that good as a lawyer, apparently, because he didn't help any of those people get out of anything. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. How can you be an attorney and like defend these people that do these horrible things? I think it's because they believe in justice. Like,
well, everybody has the right to a fair trial.
The law and the way the rules are, instead of looking at the person and being like, this person is horrible. We got to check all these boxes off that the law tells us we have to, instead of worrying about if this is a horrible person we're going to keep in society.
Yeah.
Just because someone's a horrible person doesn't mean they're necessarily guilty. That's why the whole trial process has to happen, and you have to have a defender that actually defends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There was an interesting. I don't know if you ever watched the new Perry Mason show they did on HBO, which is really good. But the second season, they kind of get into a topic like that, and where it's kind of like they're pretty sure the guy did it, and he wants to get off the case, but he can't get off the case, so he has to still come up with ways to defend the person. It's pretty interesting.
It would be awesome to go to law school and be like, I want to do this, and then you get in there, and it's like, oh my God, I cannot live with what my profession is. I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, there's different parts to being a law thing. You can talk to Janice about that, but unadapted. What's up, ladies and gents? I quit drinking this year. Might explain my absence, but I'm still a supporter. Appreciate you. Cheers with kombucha, LOL. Appreciate you. And in fact, unadapted, down below in the description, if you're doing a non-alcoholic thing, I got various non-alcoholic links down there where you can get non-alcoholic stuff too. So check those out. Let's say hello to Unadapted. Hello to Simo. Like the idea of a scapegoat. A goat would be walked through the village, and the villagers would hurl their own insults, accusations, and sins against it, and sacrifice it at the end. That's where the scapegoat comes from. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Blame it on the goat. Blame it on
that.
Yeah.
But then you take the sin goat, you make a big old stew for everybody to share.
What did people eat? Did people eat the goat afterwards, or just sacrifice it and just?
Probably just sacrifice it, which is sad because it's wasteful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Humans are horrible.
Hey Vanessa, hey Chad, just checking in outside the airport. Sally not going anywhere, just picking up a friend. There you go. I thought maybe you're trying to get some of the Oktoberfest action in.
Well,
Just discount beer tonight. $1 Budweisers and $1 Bud Ices. I'm adding lemon lime salt to give them flavor.
There you go.
Them Bud Ices will hit you. Kevin House, Kevin Miller, shots. Oh, it's still a school night. But
That's funny.
you never know.
I actually know a Kevin Miller, and I don't know if that's the same one because there's probably a lot of Kevin Millers out there. So I have no idea if that's the person I know.
Oh, I just had an idea. We should all Google our own names and see how many of our names are out there.
Oh, I've done that before.
I've done it too.
Have like 5,000.
They tell everybody you should Google your own name because you'll find stuff out there that you might be surprised about.
No, there's actually quite a few, but most people have my first name spelled with 2 L's. But there's an awful lot actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But they always tell people to do it for security reasons because you might find things out there that get related to you that aren't related to you and stuff like that. Cheers, Angie. Great to see you, my friend.
My maiden name.
What's up, JT? In the house. Big fan of True Crime fan on YouTube. Awesome. Well, thanks. Yeah, check it out. One of them is Go Brewing, which is non-alcoholic beer. And I got the promo code down there, but they'll give you 15% off and they deliver it to you. So you don't have to go out and look for it, anything like that. And they got some pretty good deals going on right now.
Go Brewing's fun. I like their tap room. They're really nice people.
Yeah, I need to actually get an order in for some stuff to come out here shortly as well. My name is James Davis. So Googling my name is no fun. That's why you got to use the T. You got to put the T in there.
That's right.
No, what's the T stand for? I want to know what the T stands for.
Terrific. Remember Fred G. Sanford always have a new thing for G. Every time it's Fred G. Sanford. The G stands for great. The G stands for good. He always has something different for the G.
I don't see other
Seth.
thing popping up for my maiden name. Surely there's another Shannon Plant.
I guarantee you there's not.
In the whole world, there's not another
I would
Shannon
say
Plant.
there's no way.
You might be an original. We don't need another Shannon Plant in the world.
That's true.
For life's insanity, we
I
hope
can
there's not
agree
another
with
Shannon Plant.
that. Yeah.
As the song goes, only you.
Yeah. Look, I got a breathalyzer.
Oh, let me see. Let me pull you up here. Look at that.
I got a breathalyzer.
Have you used it to kind of just mess around with it or anything?
Yeah. Like I did it, and then the first I did it without drinking anything, and it said 0. And then I did it. I've done it a few times tonight, and I can't remember what it said. Todd did it. He got up to like 0.03 something. I got up to like 0.066.
Yeah.
But
in Indiana, what 0.08?
0.08. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do it and see what I am right now, and then hang on,
Keep hitting the button for it.
because I'm trying to turn it off because it's.
Hang on, Lucy, hang on.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna start singing Snoopy. Hang on, OHIO.
All right, I'm gonna
I like
get there.
that song. Hang on,
All right.
Snoopy, hang on. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something
Yeah, but
else.
we see a bunch of Ohio State fans always singing. It kind of starts to wear you down. I
Oh,
know
is
he's Indiana, Big Ten. Yeah, that's the Ohio song they sing. Hang on, Snoopy.
Oh,
It's like OHIO. Then they go back into it.
that's funny. She never mentioned that, and usually he mentions stuff like that to me
He
because
can't. He's Michigan. He can't say Ohio. He's Michigan.
Well, I know, but he has.
But
He's gone to games there, and he's like talked to me about a lot of the Ohio stuff. I have no stock in it whatsoever. I think it's just silly that he wouldn't even go into the state for a beer until we learned TK lived there. But whatever. He was only willing to go to Ohio because TK lived there. That was the only reason.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's the legal limit.
I'm 0.17 right now.
We're twice the legal limit.
You're more
Whoa!
than twice the limit. You ain't driving nowhere.
Thank God I'm
Take it
in the
easy.
basement.
Take it easy.
Well, who knows? It's accurate when you not drink. I know that.
Shannon's about to hit the fun zone.
I'm always in the fun zone.
And it was Thurston for JT, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on his face.
Thurston.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds fancy.
Like, wasn't that Thurston? Wasn't that Thurston Howell at Gilligan's Island?
That's what I was
Yeah.
I
gonna
think,
say.
I think that's the only time. I think that's the only Thurston I think I've ever heard was Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
It sounds fancy. It sounds
Yeah.
trust fundy.
Trust fundy. That's a good word for that for sure. Trust fundy.
Hello, my name is Thurston. Oh, yes, fancy.
My name
Oh,
is not Trust Bundy. Ren is
trust.
not Bundy. But my
So y'all want to play a game?
Trust fundy.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. So they came out with the most popular beers by state. So
Okay.
pick a state and think what the beer may be. That'll be the most
Ooh,
popular
love
one.
Game.
So-
Maine,
We want to go Maine.
and I'm thinking a porter is for Maine.
There's actual beer.
Oh, like I don't know what breweries are in what states.
Well, they may not be in that state. It's just the most popular beer there.
Well, I don't know that either.
Oh, not the beer style, but the actual beer.
The actual beer.
Oh shit, that'd be hard.
Okay, well then we'll go with Ohio.
So
You didn't want to do Maine? You didn't want to do Maine? You want to go to Ohio?
Piece of that Maine
Okay.
dish.
Here you go, Rod. You give us 3 names. 2 of them are false, and one's the real one, and we got to choose
Yeah.
which one.
Multiple
Okay.
Oh, putting you on the spot.
So where are we going to go to? We want to go with Maine? Are we going with Maine? Or are we going to Ohio? We're going with Maine?
Yeah.
Budweiser, Yingling, Samuel Adams.
Samuel Adams.
I'm gonna say Budweiser.
That's what I was gonna say too.
True
Yeah.
Samuel Adams.
Woo!
I just had a feeling.
Aubrey has said Wisconsin.
I gotta go get
So-
it.
Wisconsin will be Coors.
Hold on now, Wisconsin. Since you threw that out there, we'll say Coors Light. We'll say Miller Lite. And for the fun of it, we'll say Fat Tire.
Miller Lite.
What was the first one? You said Budweiser.
Coors Light, Miller Lite, Fat Tire.
I'm gonna go Coors Light,
What were the other two?
You're going
Light, and Fat Tire
for Wisconsin.
for Wisconsin.
Miller
You know,
Lite.
the cheese state. Correct answer?
Miller Lite.
Fat Tire.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Hazel Lake.
Yeah.
Are these?
Remember, Wisconsin's a craft beer, state, so
are these #1 craft beers per state, or is it,
no,
does it
most
include Okay.
most popular beer.
most popular?
Most
beer?
popular.
Okay.
Yeah. From the band Sonic Youth. I remember the band Sonic Youth.
Another Thurston.
And he is a junior. My dad was, after Father Thurston Davis, a Catholic priest who was a friend of his dad, Carol Davis. There you go.
Oh.
So you go for another state?
Yes.
What's Florida?
Florida, or Florida, as it's called nowadays. No. I don't know. That's where the guy's from. He changed it. So for Florida, we've got Blue Moon, we've got Budweiser, and we've got Corona.
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 Corona, Blue Moon, and what? Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Corona also.
And you guys are all correct on that one. It is Corona. Obviously with the beach and all that kind of stuff, they do all the Coronas and stuff like that down there. Yeah. What's up, Soup in the house here? We're talking about the most popular beer for the different states. Old Milwaukee didn't make the list. Not as the most popular beer. There's probably still the Old Milwaukee being drank.
Oh. I think
Oh,
that
I
Iowa
got
is
one.
Bush Light.
Well, we'll get to California in a second here. When it gets on the turns out to be 805. What
I'm going to say Colorado if nobody says that one.
let's see. Let's do California here. So California, we're going to look at Fat Tire, Modelo, and Budweiser.
Modelo.
Yeah, it is Modelo. It is Modelo for California for the most popular beer. So now craft beer unadapted, it might have been so now, although actually Lagunitas is now considered a macro, but yeah. But it's not 805. Not 805. Let's see.
Iowa is Bush Light. It's got to be.
You want to go Iowa?
I think Iowa's Bush Light.
And then
Iowa. Since Mal put it out there, we'll say Bush Light, we'll say Bud Light, and we'll say Miller Light.
Well, we're gonna go with Bush Light because we got Mal's back.
Todd?
I say Miller Lite. Sorry, Mal.
All right. Correct answer, Bud Light.
Oh.
Right.
Bullshit.
My sister would have been upset if I had said any other beer. That's what so.
Bud Light for Ohio. I mean, Iowa.
Okay.
Colorado, obviously, you're going to say Fat Tire. And we're also going to say Coors Light. And then we also have Corona.
I'm going to go Fat Tire.
Coors Light.
Todd, you, sir, are correct. Coors Light is the answer for Colorado. Dupa says South Carolina or South Kakalaka, as the kids call it nowadays. Let's see here. So South Carolina, Budweiser, Miller, or Corona.
Miller.
I'm gonna go
Budweiser, Miller, or Corona?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Budweiser.
Mal?
I said Budweiser.
Okay. Correct answer? Corona.
Oh.
Corona, most popular beer there. Soup said Miller. He said Miller too, and he's in the state. He said Miller, but yeah, Corona.
I chose Miller because I feel like, but I feel like it's more a red state, and you know the whole not conspiracy, controversy with Bud Light. So,
Yeah.
But so maybe it's probably Miller.
Aubrey said Arkansas Natural Light because it's the cheapest, and we all broke down here. Well, let's take a look at Arkansas. So Arkansas, that's not one of the ones they had in there, but I'll say Arkansas. You've got Miller Lite, you've got Bud Light, and you also got Corona.
Jesus, it's all the same three beers.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Bud Light.
I'm going with Corona.
I'm going to say Bud Light also.
The folks of Arkansas like Corona. That's their number one, most popular.
That's a popular beer. Well, I mean, it is, and it is the number one selling, so.
It is cheap, so yeah. But Corona in Arkansas.
Corona's cheap.
And Corona, the number one selling beer also?
Yes. Are they number one now? No, Modelo's number one.
Oh, Modelo is.
Bud Light fell to number 3. Corona, is Corona number 2 now? Corona might be number 2.
I was thinking Corona was one, but I mean, it's not
Yeah.
expensive.
Is it like comparable to Bud Light, Miller Lite, Corona?
It's probably a little more expensive than that.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's see here. What about Illinois? Illinois, we have. Well, we know that Yingling because they still can't get Yingling. They still can't get Yingling in Illinois, so I can't throw that one out there. Illinois, we'll say Heineken, Bud, or Corona.
Bud.
Corona.
But I'm gonna go Bud.
It is actually Corona. Corona's got a few states for it there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe it would by a landslide if they were running for president.
With Corona, I mean, I see a lot of young people that like Corona and stuff too. So, yeah.
They do. I do think the younger people like the Corona.
Let's see here.
I know I'm old. It sounds like
Sound like your dad.
the
like
weed or
like
the
the
marijuana, doing the marijuana.
Like the Rona.
Whatever.
What about Washington State? Do you think it's Yingling, Blue Moon, or Guinness?
Blue
Yes.
Moon.
You said what? Blue Moon?
Blue Moon.
I say
You
Guinness.
said- Yeah. Correct answer, believe it or not, even though it's across the country, is Yingling.
Oh,
It's the most popular beer.
You know,
Surprise.
during my research, I found out, which you all probably already know this. Yingling is like the oldest brewery. Yeah, I know you all
Yeah.
probably already knew that, but I was
Yingling's Yingling's the oldest American brewery. Yes.
So that Stevens, Stevens Point, when we did a review on a Stevens Point beer, and when I was looking the beer up, they're like the third. They say the third continuously in production brewery in the U.S. But I think that was like not like big breweries, because I looked at I got online. I'm like, to make sure that was true.
Operating brewery,
But the big companies were in there between that. It was on the list of the top 10, but the big like Anheuser-Busch and all those.
Yeah. Well, here's a trivia question for you. Which brewery actually had to make cheese and actually gave craft a little bit of a run for its money back during the time of Prohibition?
Budweiser.
Wisconsin. Oh, it was the. I heard this before too.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I think you're right. I think it was
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Mal got on her second try. It was Pabst Blue Ribbon. It kept them in business, and then they were able to come back and do beer later.
That's why you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to be.
Now, when I did a tour with Pabst Blue Ribbon, though, they I don't remember them talking about making cheese. I don't remember that, but I do remember that there were some people who were still making booze, obviously, for Chicago on the down low, and they were utilizing the local dairy farms and using the tanks that they kept the milk in to make the beer.
Ah, okay.
So they could sneakily make beer and ship it to Chicago.
Yeah.
During Prohibition. So I do know that the dairy farms there were part of the.
You went back to them doing that probably. Yeah, so Pabst had actually did the best way, like the liquefied cheese in a can that you see now, like with like you could dip your corn chips and all that kind of stuff in, or like at the theater.
Like
then when they
nacho cheese. Queso.
Yeah. And when they ended up coming back in the beer, they ended up selling that stuff back over to craft that ended up taking it from there. But yeah. Food That Built America. Good show. Good show.
Yes,
One of the episodes. That was one of the episodes. So Soup asked about Hawaii. So let's go to Hawaii. Yeah. Go to the islands.
I think it's
So Hawaii. I didn't give you any suggestions yet.
No, I think it's Sapporo.
Hawaii. Okay, well, I thought it's Sapporo, Heineken, or Blue Moon.
I'm going to go with Blue Moon.
I'm going Heineken.
You're going to stay with Sapporo?
I'd like to.
I'd like to. Correct answer is Heineken.
I'm sorry, all the states, that's the only one I could think of that might actually have a Japanese beer as number one. I was kind of hoping.
It was a smart little guess there. Yeah.
Indiana.
Oh, wait a second. You know what? I did the wrong state. That was Alaska.
Oh.
But I did have
I wouldn't have thought Alaska would have been Heineken. That's fun.
Yeah. But the beers I mentioned still can apply to Hawaii. Do you want to keep your same answers?
Yes, Blue Moon.
Yeah, I'm saying Heineken also.
I still want it to be Sapporo.
Hawaii, Stella Artois.
Oh.
Well, that wasn't an option.
It wasn't. It said Stella.
No, you
the
didn't.
same answers though.
Did I say Stella when I thought it was the first time?
No.
Oh, my bad. Well, okay.
Sapporo.
Well, I thought I did. She said Sapporo, so I went Sapporo, but I thought it said Stella too. But okay, I did. My bad.
I think you're cheating.
Oh, I said Blue Moon. I was going to say Stella, but I went with Blue Moon because to throw you off there.
Okay, you lost a lot of cred for mixing up the Blue Moon and that. I'm
Look,
just saying, that's a lot of cred.
I had a Steve Harvey moment, all right? Just a Steve Harvey moment.
Oh, wait, you actually win.
That's not the correct answer, Steve. Not the right answer. Oh, we got to make a change. That's not the right answer.
We should, Rod. We should do like a game. We should do like a Family Feud style thing.
A Family Feud style thing?
Family Feud.
I need to come back. I need to bring back the one game again, but I haven't got a chance to put it back together. We had fun that time we did it. Of course, Mal was kicking everybody's ass when he did it. So
Who?
Mal was kicking everybody's ass when I did the last trivia games.
Hey.
I like trivia and I like beer. I'm sorry. I'm studying to be Cicerone. I can't help myself.
Okay. Hey.
So we do choose state of Michigan. See what you guys think about that state, the Mitten state.
Sure.
We'll do it, and then do Indiana next, just because.
All right. So Michigan, we've got Fat Tire, we've got Blue Moon, and we've got Guinness.
I'm gonna go.
That's what I was gonna say. It's Fat Tiger.
I'll go with Blue Moon just to be different. But Fat Tire was what I was gonna pick. But Blue Moon.
For the correct answer, it is Blue Moon for Michigan.
Ooh.
All right.
You know, that just gives me more steam of why I need to live in Michigan, because Blue Moon is one of my favorite beers, and Michigan is my favorite state I've ever been to.
All right, Sue, but wasn't that damn funny? Come on now. He said Dallas Cowboys are your 2024 NBA champions.
Oh, Texas.
I made one little mistake there. Movie theater nachos and popcorn. Gotta have MSG in them or something so good. Yeah, they might sprinkle a little crack in them, just because people can go crazy over that popcorn.
Well, explain the price.
That's when you get in the line, you're like, that popcorn and cheese.
And some people have their strategy. Like, I don't get popcorn at the movies when I go. I'm more of a candy person. But apparently, like, some people are like, put some in the bag, then you put the butter in, then you put some more, then you there's people that do it that way. Some are just top down. Like, people have their ways to like to have their popcorn. It's kind of a crazy thing.
We saw a thing, you do your popcorn and you put a straw down in there, and then you just put the butter down in the straw, and then it fills up.
See, from the bottom up. So there's all kinds of strategies, but people get serious about their popcorn.
Hey, Rod, the best way to do your popcorn is to do the butter, and then you get milk duds.
I knew that was coming.
And you put the milk in the hot popcorn and the butter, and then you close it up and you shake it, and then it's like caramel corn with buttery caramel popcorn. Oh my gosh.
It is pretty good. It is pretty good.
I just want to know why.
Yeah, we'll buy a box of milk duds and bring it home and do popcorn in the microwave and put the milk duds in it. It's so good.
There you go. I just want to know why. Like, I can go to I'll say Mal, go to Chicago or whatever, and you can go over and you can get the popcorn and you get the cheddar and you get the caramel. You put them together. Then I'll do popcorn, like the mix and stuff. The Chicago. Why can't I get that at the movie theaters? Why is it still gotta be just butter? We know there's other ways to do a bit more popcorn out there.
Right.
If now if they did that kind of stuff, then I'd probably get popcorn at the theater.
Now, the movie theaters do have those little shakers, though, of all the flavors, like the ranch and the dill pickle and all those. Those are kind of fun.
That's not caramel popcorn now.
Well, I know, but they have sweet ones too. They have like cinnamon sugar and different ones that you can put on the popcorn. It's kind of fun.
Some microwave popcorn.
I want caramel popcorn.
I want ranch popcorn.
I can't do
ranch, and then I'll put it in our
No, the ranch shakers.
It's good.
Yeah. I'm not a ranch person though.
I'm from the Midwest. It's in my veins.
Like wings, they're like blue cheese and ranch. What you talking? Blue cheese? What you talking about? No ranch for no wings.
Dirty socks and dirty socks.
Oh,
Sure, that sounds good.
That's why my brother is here, right? He likes his blue cheese.
I'm waiting for Shannon to do dirty socks as a description on the beer. That'd be awesome.
I have
I'm sure it already has.
I have a crazy story from Buffalo, New York, when we were up there in Canada and stuff, and we were coming back. Stopped in Buffalo, New York it wasn't in Buffalo, but it was close to Buffalo. This little place, and they had wings, and she wanted wings because
Was it Anchor? Was it Anchor? Because that's place was it Anchor?
No, it's just a tap house. They had like 40 or 50 taps. I don't remember.
Not Anchor Brewing, Anchor Grill. We passed Anchor Grill to go to Niagara, and that's where they created the buffalo wing at. But go ahead.
But yeah, this wasn't a chain or anything. It was a one-off spot. But so Chu got wings, and she said, "You want the blue cheese, right?" And I'm like, "Well, what? Yeah, I guess." And she's like, "Oh, good, because we have like the best blue cheese ever." And I'm thinking, "Oh, cool." So they have a really fancy kind or whatever. She brings out a little plastic tub with like the tinfoil pull off of it was a brand that I could get in my own grocery store. It was Newman's Own.
Oh, I remember you talking about that. Yeah, I remember.
Was it Newman's Own or Ken's Steakhouse? Because we talked about this in Niagara. It's not the same. It's not the same as in the store. Yeah, it's like McDonald's. It's like McDonald's has a Coke. It's like McDonald's has a Coke that's not the same when you buy Coke in a store.
Right.
No, it was Newman's Own, and it tasted exactly like the dressing I have in my fridge at home. So I was like, well, that seemed a little bit of a letdown. I was like, wow, she was talking it up so much, man. And it's just the stuff I get in the grocery store. I was sad. I was like, geez, I feel like I was going to get something special, and I got the same thing I have in the fridge. Did I drive 8 hours for this? No.
But I do remember it coming up, and Joe was explaining, it was like, it's not the same.
It is.
But it wasn't Newman's. It was Ken's. It was Ken's Steakhouse we were talking about. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Joe is one of those saying, it's not the same as you get in the bottle.
Joe was saying the same thing that day because you guys showed up after we'd already ordered that, but he was saying the same thing, and I'm like, are you questioning my palate right now? You've literally watched me taste beer for 2 years, and you're questioning whether I know if this is what I have in my fridge or not? What is happening, man? I love you to bits, but geez.
Yeah, how can
Joe pulled your palate card.
Yeah, you totally pulled the palate card. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I literally taste things online on purpose. Like, listen to me describe beer that you've had. You know whether I'm right or not. What are you doing? Oh, too funny.
And then Dad said the real psychopaths are the ones that mix their chocolate Whoppers inside their popcorn bag.
Yeah, I don't see the malted milk balls going as well with the popcorn.
Was that too much off of what Shannon does? Shannon puts the
caramel I can see, but malted milk
duds. Yeah, I never did the Whoppers, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to taste like. Yeah.
No, Whoppers are malted milk balls, so it has that dry, like condensed milk or whatever it was inside. The stuff they used to make milkshakes and stuff. It has that inside. And I don't think that would work as well. I don't know. It doesn't seem right. But I don't know.
Aubrey says, Todd and Shannon, too bad you're no longer by the window. I like to see the hurricane background tonight. Well, by the time it gets to them, it'll be just like a rainstorm probably. So
Sorry.
Now, Soup was on camera. He's out of South Carolina. They're about to get some stuff, possibly some rain. Am I wrong for sneaking in a bucket of KFC when I was 17 at the theater? Not at all. Not at all. Nope. When you're young trying to go to the theater, shit costs money. You got to do what you got to do.
Funny. Go to the theater, it costs money, so you still got to do what you got to do, So.
Yeah. Funny thing, back in the day, we used to actually, we would go to the
day.
Yeah, back in the day.
I had to poke a little fun there.
Back in the day, we used to go to the
on your feet. It was uphill both ways. You worked at the local textile mill and couldn't go and see the movies because the lady who played the piano during them wasn't available.
Where the hell's my?
I don't remember asking you a guy.
we used to go to the theater, like in high school and stuff, but we would go to Ponderosa before the theater, back when they had the bar.
Oh, Ponderosa.
And you would have like get the like the wings and all kind of stuff off the bar, and you would wrap it in napkins and put in your girlfriend's pocketbook. So you went to the theater, purse, whatever it was, and you always have to make sure you bring your big one when we go to Ponderosa because we're going to have to load it up. But yeah, that's what you did. So yeah, but still, I mean, a bucket of KFC's a lot in a bucket. I don't know if this was like the 8-piece family, the 12. I mean, depends how much chicken you brought in there. So
it's harder to sneak food in the purses now, though, because a lot of the theaters actually will like open and look in your purse for like weapons and stuff now.
Do they really?
I've had that happen a couple times.
I've seen people go in backpacks and stuff before too. So.
But I've been to a couple theaters that actually will shine a flashlight in your purse looking for like guns, knives, and stuff. I'm like, geez, maybe I'm at the wrong theater.
I mean, you are in the suburbs of Chicago, so I mean,
I didn't have a metal detector or anything, but they still like checked everyone's bags. I was like,
you kind of got that street look to you, Mal. I'm just saying.
I do. I look like such a villain. I'm obviously planning world domination one hop at a time.
You said it was a 12-piece. I was hungry.
Nice.
Raisinets hit different in the movie theaters too. Well, there you go. I mean, so speaking of movies, I don't know if I told y'all last week, I finally went back to the movie and I saw Wolverine and Deadpool. Excellent movie. If you haven't seen that movie, I mean, obviously, no spoilers. But if you like the Marvel stuff, one of the best Marvel movies in a long time. And it was you had if you read comics, you had the Wolverine you wanted from the comics actually finally on screen. And him and Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds together was just awesome. How they actually had like that little camaraderie that took place. But then, like some of the other things that you saw in the movie and some of the things they did for other people in other roles, it was good. You just have to see it. It's like to see it on the big screen made it worth actually going to it because I'm like, I can wait till it comes on TV or I can actually go now. And the reason I went, YouTube has sent me a thing for one of the rewards program for a free AMC ticket. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, she was traveling for work. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go see Wolverine. She won't want to go see it, but I'll say, I'll go see Wolverine and Deadpool. So glad I did. And it was a 2-hour movie, unlike some of the other Marvel where you're in there for 3 hours. So a little bit more time sensitive too, where you weren't being buried under stuff. But you have to watch the movie and you have to watch through the credits because the credits are pretty cool. How they go back through the whole time of like scenes and stuff when Hugh Jackman was early Wolverine and when Ryan Reynolds came on board. It's just like, it's pretty cool how they actually tell the whole story and stuff. So
nice.
Definitely one of the great movie to go see. I can see why it's done so well at the theater.
My brother, one of his, like, I remember when I was a little girl, he's 6 years older than me, he'd get the comic books. Wolverine was always his favorite. And
yeah.
So he's always been big on the Wolverine movies. And
yeah,
he's like, the last Wolverine movie was like him getting old and like,
Logan, yeah,
kind of losing his powers and stuff. And so when I was supposed to go see that movie with him at the theater and
all those.
Overslept, and I was a big disappointment because I overslept. But but
did he see it? Did he go?
The movie
Yeah.
Yeah. But we need to watch it. I
watched it.
Oh, you had? Well, shit, because I was going to watch it the other day, and then I was like, no, Todd will be mad if I watch it without him. So
did Todd go to the theater? You went to the theater without her?
No, not him. My brother did.
No, but Todd said he watched it already.
No, we have the,
Oh, yeah. But on the big screen, it was that much. I mean, yeah, I could have watched it here and waited, but on the big screen, it was definitely worth seeing it on the big screen.
I love Deadpool.
Yeah. The jokes and stuff between him and Hugh Jackman were like right on point in a lot of it too. It was just, it was really good.
Looking funny together.
Yeah. The funny thing too about the movie, because I won't spoil anything like that, but like you always hear like a lot of stuff about the entertainment, like council culture and stuff like that. And there's like so much stuff that happened in the movie. It's just like people were probably complaining about it, but it was like everything was. It was great to see a movie that was refreshing, where they were like, "We don't care, we're going to say it anyway."
And my brother, he's like the opposite of me. He's not like big into. He's not as open minded as me. So, and he talked about the same thing you were just talking about,
Yeah.
how they would say things that, and I'm like, well, if he thinks it's cool, then I'm like, if they must
Yeah.
ride that line really good to make people like him think it was funny. And then you're more along my beliefs and you thought it was funny. They skirted that line perfectly to where it was like still funny.
Oh, it was hilarious on some of the stuff that was happening there. Like just some of the jokes and stuff. Like, yeah, it was
Well,
some good tongue in cheek humor all the way throughout.
Deadpool's funny anyway, like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That was a role that was just, just like Hugh Jackman. Like you feel like there can never be another Wolverine. Just like Wesley Snipes, like another Blade, and it's like Ryan Reynolds is that way with Deadpool. Like you feel like he has to be Deadpool.
God, yes.
Yeah.
That role is going to be late. There's no way they could ever remake
Right.
Deadpool with another. There's no other person that could play Deadpool like Ryan Reynolds.
No one.
Yeah. I remember in the late 90s, I and a friend of mine snuck a 12-pack of beer in by splitting them up between us. Now I can order beer in the movie theater, right? Some theaters you can. Some you got a full bar, so you can like get a Jack and Coke or whatever like that too. Yeah. And some have a restaurant where they serve you while you're watching the movie.
I was about to say, we have some by us that you can like press a button and a server will come to you and like take your order and stuff. But yeah.
You know what I'm getting ready to say? So it was 2000, probably 2000, late 2003 or early 2004. We went to Indianapolis, and we went to it was like an old building, and it had a comedy club on one floor, and I think it was in the same. Yeah. And then like a theater on a different floor. And the theater had little tables, and you could order alcohol, and you could order like hot dogs and stuff.
But they played older movies, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Or ones
I don't think it was like super old.
No, but
it was like the second run of stuff, probably.
Yeah.
They were actually out
before they went to DVD, but they've been out of the main theater kind of thing. Yeah.
The first and actually probably the only time that, because I know theaters serve alcohol, but that was really the only time I've been to a theater that served alcohol.
Oh, well, yeah, that was before.
Yeah, it was like 2000,
all that,
late 2003, early 2004. It was like right after we got married.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say. We talk about the pricing at the theater. The one thing that does seem like not to be out of whack as much is the cost of alcohol. Like you get like I think when I got one before, the last time I got a drink at the theater, it was like a 24-ounce beer or whatever, and it was like $9. And like I felt like that's not bad,
No, considering movie theater prices, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was like more on par like with some of the sports type stuff, right? So you're like, well, that's like the best value here is probably getting this,
Yeah.
So
like we went to we have a music festival that comes to Louisville called Bourbon and Beyond.
There's 2 of them, yeah.
And we went last year to Bourbon and Beyond, and the tickets are insane, but you get like 4. It's an all-day thing.
Yeah, it's like from 11 o'clock to midnight or something.
Yeah,
just music nonstop.
And so, I mean, we didn't go super early, but we saw probably 4 really good bands, and we were getting beers, and it was a tall can, but it was $12 for a tall can of Miller Lite.
yeah.
And I mean, and I drink fast, and it was getting kind of pricey after we already paid our ticket prices.
Sure, yeah.
But then it was like, you know what? Let's be a little bit smarter about this. Let's they had like canned
I was trying to think of what.
some kind of like mixed drink, like a vodka cranberry,
I can't remember.
some kind of.
It was
and
like
it was
19 or
$18.
that was 24 ouncer.
Yeah, and it was
but
$18.
$19.
Yeah, so it's like we'll just get one of those and split it, and it was hot as hell. But I got to see Hosier, who is amazing. I love Hosier.
The Killers.
Hosier is I love Hosier.
But it's going to. They just ended last weekend. Now this weekend.
Wait. Tell us how you really feel.
I have no problem doing that. I wish I could dial it in a little bit.
You would have tested it. Is Hosier greater than Taylor Swift?
No,
He's the
but
male version.
no, but
I don't even know who Hosier is, by the way.
you do.
Is it one person or is it a group? Oh, I don't know that one.
Take me to church. Take me to church. I'll worship like a god at the shrine of your. You know that song.
I don't think I've heard that song
You
before.
probably
Got a
have.
nice little beat to it, though. Got a nice little beat to it.
It's not a church song, but you know.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
Take
Country
me
song?
to church, I worship like a dog at the
Yeah,
shrine of your life. Gotta tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. That song.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. I like it though. It's nice.
It's
Nice.
a great song. It's excellent.
His last album, he writes his own songs, and it was based on the 7 levels of hell, the 9 levels of hell, or Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I read that. Okay, Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
It's called Dante's Inferno, and he has all these songs, and he wrote them himself, and it's just speaks to my soul.
He's
You know who I saw?
with his songs.
You know who I saw sing for the first time? I've always seen like him on videos talking about stuff, but never seen him actually sing. When I was flipping through the Emmys a couple weeks ago, and they had Jelly Roll sing for somebody, sing for one of the movie thing.
God.
I'm like, he is pretty damn good. Like, I mean, obviously he's got a contract, so he's pretty good. But it's like I didn't realize how good he was. I should say, like,
I remember the couple that Shannon married.
Yeah.
She was talking about Jelly Roll back before. I didn't even know who
we
he
never even
was.
heard of him.
yeah,
So at the time, they weren't even married. He took her to a concert just to surprise her or whatever, and was like, Jelly Roll, huh? I was like, I never heard of him.
So
And all of a sudden, it's like, wow, he's really good.
Jelly Roll, Teddy Swims, and Chris Stapleton. Those 3 of those,
Sounds like a joke about to happen here.
no, they all.
I'll walk into a bar.
they're one singer away from the Four Horsemen.
Anyway, if you don't want to know anything about good music, then continue to make your little jokes and not take my reputation.
You want to throw a Brad Paisley in there and make it foursome?
No. But
Tell your story.
it's already over. You ruined the moment.
I don't think we did. Inquiring minds want to know.
It's
Well,
too late. You should just shut
My
up.
moment was ruined when I ran out of beer, so I'm gonna run and get one.
Okay.
Paul.
Paul says, cheers, all sipping on my home brew from my hand pull. Very nice. Came out like a London porter. Cheers. Cheers, my friend. That sounds fantastic. And great seeing the hops get harvested that you're growing as well. Now you can order a margarita and a 4-course meal. My, how times have changed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we never actually used it at the theater, but yeah, I mean, like if you take a fancy like that, you're going to a movie theater, but I mean, they roll out the stuff for you because they put you in the balcony area when I saw it last time. Hey, Paul, I'm drinking an awesome Baltic Porter by Off Color called Beer for Power Plays.
Oh,
This beer is the Malt Enforcer. Very nice.
JT and Liz are.
Oh my God, Nice Pool was hilarious in the movie. I can't say anything because Shannon hasn't seen it yet and Mal hasn't seen it, but the Nice Pool character, that it was pretty funny seeing him do that. Yeah, we had $2 theater back in the day, right before they came out on VHS. They hit there. Yeah, we did too. I think it was like Regal Cinemas that would do that for a point.
Yeah, we had so in our little town. Well, we're in Sellersburg, Indiana, right across from Louisville, Kentucky, and we had back in the day when we were young. We had Green Tree 4, which was 4 movie screens, and then they built a bigger one, and then they made Green Tree 4 into a $1 theater. And so instead of paying $7, you could go to Green Tree 4 and see some a little bit older movies. But then that went downhill, and then they just started playing like horror movies and stuff. And then
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The floor was always so sticky. It was like,
Oh yeah, I hate those kind of theaters.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like, is this underground like naughty movies after midnight?
I mean,
here?
it might have been after a PD party. You never know. P Diddy could have been getting down there, and now you're,
no,
the aftermath.
That was slick floor.
Yeah, we would have been sliding around, but
At some point, it may have dried up.
Oh my god.
possibility.
Oh,
You know,
inflation made me quit. Go ahead.
No, I just realized what I was going to say, and it's not nice. I mean,
Well, share.
it's too nice.
It's too nice.
Yeah. So
Now I'm even more curious.
No, but see now I'm judging myself for getting ready for almost saying it because I'm like I was gonna kind of defend him, but then I'm like Shannon, no, he's
You can't defend a man with 1,000 baby oil bottles.
So if I'm judging I'm angry at myself for even thinking like making an.
I told you you could have been his attorney last week.
Well, I could have, and then I would have been like.
You'd have been so conflicted. You'd have been so conflicted after a point.
I could defend the baby oil, but I couldn't defend anything after that.
Yeah. Oh, inflation made me quit drinking. Oh, just kidding. Inflation has made some people cut back from craft going back to macro. I know that for sure.
Oh, yes, JT.
I guess you, Shannon.
And Liz.
Absolutely.
Aubrey said the Peep Show 10 cinema.
Yes.
I think Pee Wee Herman cinema there. Yeah, we got RS in the house. Cheers, my friend.
Papa.
So we've had mom and pops on tonight. That's cool.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm becoming a household name with the family. I'm about a year or two away from Thanksgiving dinner with Mal and Chew and RS and everybody.
You are always welcome to Thanksgiving dinner with us. Are you kidding?
Thank you.
Like anytime. Oh my gosh, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas, whatever you want, babe. You come. I bet you. You'll have a very full belly, I'll tell you.
Your video with Chase. I loved your video with Chase.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, the spotlight that we did on Tuesday. That was fun. Yeah. It was a great time to just, that's what it's all about. So as I go through
the whole thing, I watched it at work. I have my AirPods in and I watch it because I love on my iPad, you can like do things and then put YouTube right down in the corner.
Yeah.
And I haven't got to the last like 10, 15 minutes of it, but I watched the whole thing, listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, I listened to it at work today.
Well, thanks. Well, that's what I like when people play it back like it's a podcast because I put it on the podcast channel and do other stuff like just a nice conversation. And we actually finished that and we talked probably for another couple hours afterwards and just had some good combo stuff. And then I was showing him how to do things on YouTube and things like that. We had a great time. So it was a blast. So
and
he's a good guy. He's so stoked about us coming down there next year.
We are so stoked about going down there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He was feeling bad. He's like, the 2 breweries I was going to take you guys to down there closing. I was like, hey, you still got a lot of great stuff there. Don't worry about it. You're good.
What did he say? He was going to get some beers from the one?
Yeah, the one place will be closed. And he said if anybody wanted to get orders in, he can get them and hold them until next year because I think they do a lot of barrel aged stuff too. So.
And don't you feel like Chase would like? I feel like he's so excited. Like I feel like he's such a giver that he's like, so excited about sharing everything with us.
Yes.
And I'm just like, and we just love Chase, and it's just like, but and I'm.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see like when I talked to him, like how heartfelt he got again talking about his speech that he had.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's hard to find and I don't know his life story or what he's been through, but I don't just the impression just the energy I feel, which it's just based on me because he's never told me anything. Maybe he's not had like the most simple life. I feel like he's probably been through some shit, but he's still such a genuine person.
Very genuine, very kind, very giving.
Yes, that's what I get from him is he's just he doesn't know how to be fake. He doesn't know how to not be him.
He radiates joy.
Yes.
He radiates joy. He does. It comes off of him in waves. You just feel joy when you're near him. He's such an awesome human.
And it just rubs off on you. You can't help but feel like just so much better even after just hearing like his laugh.
Yeah.
So infectious.
Well, he's definitely like the forever optimist. So I mean, it's just
I've never say like anything negative, like to diss on something or like anything.
Yes.
I've never heard anything negative from him.
I feel like if you're having a bad day, just call Chase up and you'd be like,
heck yeah.
Yeah.
$1 million afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a great. I mean, and then like I said, we were talking about, he's just like a sponge and just soaks things in. Like he wants to know more and more and more and stuff. So it's just like, it's great. I mean, that's like, I like doing these to get to know everybody like that and everything, and to get them a chance to share stuff out there. And I love having those conversations and just kind of going through and just, I'm an observer at heart anyway, so I like to actually have stuff where I can actually just observe and talk to people and let them feedback. Like I had one of my reps in my day job to actually work with, and we talked for like 25 minutes the other day, and she's just like, I got to say, you're like the best listener I think that I've ever had that calls on us, because a lot of people call, they just want to talk. She said, but you're really a great listener. I'm like, I can't find out what you need unless I listen, right? And when I used to train people, I would say, you have one mouth and two ears. There's a reason for that. You guys need to not talk as much and listen more, and then you know how to give an answer to stuff. So, but yeah, but Chase was awesome. So I gotta get the other ones planned in, and I get you guys planned in too, since you guys now have a channel as well that you guys get a little more comfortable.
I feel like we should be like way farther down the line, because I mean, you know what I mean. But anyway, I was watching some of the videos because I'm getting new into the editing and shit. So every time I'm like, it's a fucking long thing for me to get to the videos, because I got to go to my phone with all the videos and then to edit them and all that stuff. But I came across the video on when we were at the BrewTube thing, and it was the song by Queen that you all were carrying.
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I just was watching, because I was recording. I wasn't up there, and I was recording.
Can't imagine what that looks like right now.
But I was looking at each individual that was up there, and I was just like, each one of you guys, I was just like, oh my God, like, why are we so far apart? Like,
without earplugs, I think I'd be saying why too.
You know why? You know how I know it was such a good group? I wasn't even listening to the singing. I was just taking in the energy of everybody. It was just like such, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, yes, we all know each other because of beer, but beer is such a small thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a tiny part of everything. It's what brought us all together with all these kind humans, and I got goosebumps.
Yeah, I still tell Chase he's got the best thumbnail thus far, because the thumbnail, when it was about we did the Ravinia video, I'm like, if that's not an album cover, that should be an album cover somewhere. That's how good that thumbnail was. So we took in the vault.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, you look on Chase's one that he did for the Ravinia thing we were talking about, and we're all in there, and it's just like,
posted the video. I watched the video, but
you take a look at the thumbnail, and it's just like, that should be like in a 1987 album cover or something.
And of the 6 or 7 people that were in that video, I think like 4 of them were slurring by the time they did it too. It was hilarious. You guys were ghosty by the time that one happened. It was so funny.
See if I can pull that up here and show that.
Oh my God, that video was hilarious.
Next year, Chase is adding a day, like an extra day.
Yeah, Thursday.
I think we need to work up to a week, because then maybe we'll get sick of each other and we won't miss each other so much for the rest of the year. Because I miss everybody so much.
I know.
Oh, I think everybody does. Yeah. Where is it at here? Gotta get the Chase's channel.
Like, I go hard and heavy through the night, but I missed out on so much because I slept in the next day.
Yeah, you did, actually.
But TK did too. It's like me and TK were there, but it's like we didn't even peek our heads out until like 1 o'clock.
It would TK us out for different reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was so funny. Like, we'd both wander onto the first floor at about 1 or 2, and then it would be like we just sit there like nursing our hangovers and hardly talking, and then it'd be like, I'm like, I get you, you get me, like, yeah.
They were till.
He's got a good amount of views on there too in that video. See here. I mean, the video itself, I think it's bad. I put that on my wall as a poster. Right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh, is that in the bank vault? Oh my God, I love it.
I don't know where
That was in the vault that we were in.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love Alan's style. Look,
Yeah.
he's got a black t-shirt and a Disney print shirt on. I love Alan so much. Badass.
TK's got the serious look on. Even there, Chase is smiling, but TK's got the serious look.
TK always has a serious look.
Dave does too, though.
Dave's like, what are we about to get into? Like, you know.
Dave's like, why are you talking? Open the damn beer.
No,
Brian's like, I'm down. Brian's like, I'm down. So yeah.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Ron J BeerVentures in the house or something.
I don't know where I was at.
Oh, that was classic. That was classic.
Yeah, you guys were toasty AF. I'm not kidding. It was funny as hell.
We may have had a few at that time.
Oh, okay. No, so I was watching that video about the when you all were doing karaoke, and you remember that chair that was at like the bar at the like
that kept breaking.
Yeah, that kept going. Somebody
kept sticking up people's butt.
Yeah. So everybody was singing karaoke. Everybody was singing karaoke, and then somebody sat in that chair, and it went. Everybody's like, "That damn chair!"
Oh man.
Yeah, it was finally put to the side there, but yeah, no, that was fun. That was a fun video to do with those guys, and it was awesome. You know, like I said, everybody, we all know how much fun it was had. But if people haven't seen it, make sure you check out Nutmeg to Palmetto and check out that video because that was a good one. That was a blast.
And also Nutmeg to Palmetto, he does like movie and TV show reviews too. Because I watched him and he's got his friend that's on there, and they were talking about that Kevin Costner movie that we watched, Horizon.
Oh yeah.
Horizon, yeah.
Horizon, yeah.
Yeah, Horizon didn't do good at the theater, but like part 2 is about to come out now as well.
Didn't do very much. I never even saw any like advertising at the theater.
Yeah, I saw the advertisement when they came out, and Janice's mom saw it when she was down in Texas because she's a big Costner fan. But it kind of got panned there. But he got a stand ovation on the part 2, so apparently part 2 is better than part 1 was. That's about to come out. Yeah,
part 1 was good, but it was like
it might be slow. It might have been slow to build up the storyline, maybe.
I think that's what it was.
Right.
I would say part 2 is better because
you can't release a 6-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unadapted, that's what it's about. I came for the beer, I stayed for the cheer. That's what we do.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hey, it's Todd and Shannon, the stars of What's Your Beer? Oh, hi, Rod and Mal. Now we're on the byline now, so yeah.
Thanks, Emerson.
Hey, it is.
I'm just gonna go over in the corner and cry for a while. Yeah. Thanks a bunch, Emerson.
No, it's a shit show. Like I don't even like. I need to be more serious. I'm like, Todd, you're being too serious. And then I watch the videos. I'm like, Shannon, you need to be more serious.
No, you guys got to be you. Just be you and share that. What you guys are doing right now is the fun of it. Watching you guys go back and forth. And the rock paper scissors in the beginning is pretty funny. That's when you guys do that too.
Shane said the same thing. He's like, that's awesome. He's like, I like that part. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like.
So the winner of it's supposed to do like whatever
gets
the
to
beer,
like
the
introduce the beer and the winner, and then it's just like, oh god.
Speaking of beer, Mal, which beer did you get there?
I'm sticking with the same one. Nice
same one? Okay.
ABV, easy drinking. So, because again, I'm not supposed to have too much at the moment. So,
got you.
Taking it easy.
So I cracked that one open, and I'll have the review coming up on it at some point. Great Lakes Bourbon Barrel Rye, 11.6% ABV. This is one I had one of these with Chase on Tuesday. But in one of my stores I went into, it was a 4-pack, and I'm like, I haven't seen that before. I haven't had Great Lakes in a while. Let's give it a second. Because I was thinking about getting Nosferatu or getting the Chill Wave, and I'm like, I've had those numerous times, and I like to get something different. I'm like, it was the last 4-pack. So last 4-pack to me is like, I don't know if it's a ploy that they were trying to just put them out a little bit at a time, or they sold them all out. But like, I got to get it now. If I don't get it now, I can't get it. So
Hey,
easy
whatever.
seller. Can't go wrong. Great Lakes, so.
You enjoyed it though, so who cares why it was out there?
Well, you have to watch the review to see if I'm enjoying it or not. But I have more than one, so I must be. I've kind of got something going on, right? Got something going on, but yeah.
See, that's like when we do the reviews. I'm like, I love this beer. I just want to put it out now. I want to share this with everybody, and I'm like, no, Shannon, you can't, because this week we were kind of like, shit. I was sick, and we had recorded some, but then it was like the one we put out tonight. He literally had to come home from work, and we had to record it and put it out before the show. Edit it and get it out before the show.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I'm a think before you, no, jump before you sleep kind of person, and I put on the station or channel Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then so I'm like, well, shit, it's Thursday, we don't have any videos, so get your ass home real quick. Come on, let's get to it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you
want to do a video for tomorrow, which was last night, she's like, she still wouldn't feel it. She was like, I'm not sure I'm up for it. I'm like, okay, well, we got to do it tomorrow then before, because you said Tuesdays and Thursdays, so you got to be consistent.
I am an overpromiser.
Well, a little trick is, as you guys get into doing what you're doing, if you can kind of do a day, like maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever, do like a batch day. And just do, and that's all you gotta do. And then you have the library. And you just pop them up. So you do like 3 or 4 on that weekend. You're set for 2 weeks.
Well, the first couple we did was like all in one night.
Yeah, like that's
first 3 or 4.
We just change our clothes.
Yeah, that's what Brian the Beer Snob does too. He'll have 3 different T-shirts. He'll film 3 in a row and then edit them for the week following. So
well, we just busy the last few days, and she was sick, so we just hadn't had a chance to put a new one out except until today, and then we put it out tonight, so or earlier, I guess.
See, I'd be scared to do that, because if I did, like 3 or 4, by the time I get to the 4th one, I would have had to finish all the beers, because if I didn't finish them, she would finish them behind the camera while I was filming the next one. And I can't have him drinking all my beer, so I would be toasty by the time I got to the last one, and it wouldn't be a great review.
No,
but we're also splitting. So
we
it's only
split
like half
one.
a
Yeah,
beer,
we split one.
Yeah.
Higher ABV.
I'm super happy you guys can share nicely. Chew steals my beer. That is a problem.
If one of our
she was a beer thief.
That should be a video for your thing, a series. Chew steals my beer, and do something with him stealing the beer and you looking for beer. That'd be a funny video.
If I went back through all of our videos, I could do a mashup of all the times he's stolen my beer and me looking offended, because there's a lot of times he's done it.
And there's a lot of times you've been offended.
I'm very easily offended.
It's like when Dad comes through and he's like, "Can I get a beer?" "Yeah, go get anything." And he gets the Alchemist, and you're like, "Really? All the beers in here, you had to get that one?"
Yep.
Oh my God.
The one.
Read that comment.
It may be the acid talking, but when is Costner going to fucking make Waterworld?
That's her favorite movie.
No.
They can't make Waterworld 2 a pipe burst. They can't use the set anymore.
Pipe burst.
I loved Waterworld.
I don't know why.
The person that I've ever met that was Doug Cook.
Yeah, Doug did.
And me and Doug Cook, and this was like in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s when it came out.
Your dad said, "Ain't no fool."
Everybody
good.
Waterworld sucks. No, I would love a Waterworld.
Cheers, Pops.
Yeah. Were you a fan of Postman? Were you a fan of Postman as well?
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was adequate.
You're struggling with it.
No,
Tell me how you.
But if I thought, I mean, it kept my attention. I wouldn't say it blew my mind, but it kept my attention.
I mean, how would the duck keep your attention? Doesn't mean it's good.
If I can watch a movie and not be wanting to be like, oh, I want to go do something else, then it's a decent movie, because not everything can be amazing.
True. True. There's
I mean,
there's been some movies on a Saturday where you're laying there. It's not a great movie, but you're like, I can make it through. I don't feel like going across the room and get the remote, so I'll just stay here and watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like The Postman. I mean, it was a good movie. It wasn't amazing, but it was a good movie.
All right. That's the thing. Everybody's
And
not a fan. You're a fan of what you're a fan of, right? So as long as you like it, that's all that matters.
I need to run downstairs for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, like, and that's like, okay, so there's a TV show on Netflix, and it's based on a comic book. And when I very first started watching, I'm like, this is some weird shit. And I don't know if I'm going to get through it, but I stuck in there for like 2-3 episodes, and now it's one of my favorite TV shows. It's called Sandman, and it's on Netflix.
Oh, I heard about that, but I haven't watched it. I've seen like some stuff on that
And
thing.
it's
Yeah.
weird.
I still need to watch it
It's
too.
very weird in the beginning. I'm like, this is kind of like fucked up, but not in a like traumatizing way or anything. It was just weird.
Yeah.
But
I think
I'm waiting for the second season. They're making a second season.
No, probably next year.
No, yeah, it's 2025. I think is when it's coming out.
Or next year.
But it's really good.
Yes, I see what you did, Todd. You said 2025. You're like, oh, well, that's or next year.
I said, yeah, 2025. I was agreeing with you. You just don't listen to me.
No, there's actually that one show on Netflix I need to try to catch on to that people are talking about, that Supercell, that people are saying is pretty good. I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, but I keep, like, when I scroll or when I'm like, I see it and I'm like, I always stop, but I don't actually ever push play.
Supercell or Super?
Yeah. It's like Supercell.
Oh, Supercell.
Supercell.
I think that's what it is.
Did you start watching From, Rod? You need to watch
No, I haven't watched it. I got to get through Industry right now. I'm trying to get through Industry.
I stopped
New
watching
season
Industry.
just came out.
Oh, Industry's good.
I just,
It's
You don't like it? You don't like
no,
it?
I like it. I just,
She gets sidetracking 2 episodes onto something else.
I mean, I like it more because I'm in that kind of industry where we deal with the financial stuff. So for me, it's really just the environment type stuff.
the thing that happens to me is back in the day, we had like one cable package, we could DVR things and kept everything in order. Now I have like all these different streaming things and I have no DVR, so I forget I'm watching something. And then I start looking on all these other different streaming apps, and I don't go to that streaming app where I was watching Industry, and I forgot I even watched it. And then by the time I make it back around to that app, I'm like, well, I've started watching 5 other things, and this isn't on my list anymore.
Yeah. I think Industry got overshadowed by Succession, but I think now that Succession's over, people are going to start noticing Industry.
Have you watched what's the one with the Office and they're all, it's like, it's not Succession, but I think it starts with an S too, where they're all in the AI thing. And
Soup Sale is a great show. The clam chowder episode is bonkers.
oh my God, it's so good.
Is it on Netflix or Cinemax?
No, it's HBO Max.
Okay.
And they all work in this little office, and it's a big,
it's like,
huge.
you walk out in the halls and it's all
Yes,
white, whatever.
and it all looks the same.
Hang on, I'll tell you what it is.
Then it's like one of the people that works in the office is like a big wig in the whole company, and
it's all like secretive or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and then when they leave the office, that something happens to their brain, and they don't even know they forget everything they.
Is it a show? It's a show.
TV
Like
show.
Severance.
Ah. Okay.
That is Severance. That is wow.
Well, it takes an episode or 2 to get into it because we started watching
What's
it.
the rating on IMDb? It's like a 9.
8.7.
Yeah, 8.7.
So we started watching it first, and like the first episode or 2, we were like, nah, this is not for us.
Yeah, boring.
And then she came back. She's like, let's give it another try. So we started over again. And it was like, okay, got through the first 2 episodes. And it was like, oh my God, this is so good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's good.
Well, next week is the release. I think it's next week of Salem's Lot that's coming out on Netflix. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Oh,
I want to see what the updated version is going to be like.
the actual movie, or is it a series?
Series on Netflix, I believe. So I'm curious to see how. No, actually, I think it might be a movie. I think it is. I'm looking on here. It is a movie, but kind of curious to see how that pans out. Because it was classic when it came out before, but it was made for TV. So now that you don't got to make it for TV, can you make it anymore?
Good.
Yeah.
The original one was good.
Yeah. But there's just so many different. So I got the Penguin DVR, and I haven't got a chance to watch that yet. I've got time is so limited to try to do everything and
so
sit back
shows, not enough time to watch. I got like 80 shows on backlog on IMDb that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Some of them I actually are watching, but it's like still. It's like,
and then even when I'm watching them, I'm like doing something else. It seems like typing on the computer or doing something else while I'm trying to watch the show. Like I just sit there and be able to watch the show is so tough nowadays.
Got to fit it in.
And What's It Called comes back like November. Costner show.
The
What's the name of it? The Costner show.
Oh, Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone's back in November, I think. So.
See, I'm like, was so exciting the first 2.5 seasons.
Is he going to be in it this year?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, he's in like his first 8 shows, I think, or his last 8 shows or something.
And the last season, like, I'm like wanting something good to happen, and it was just like, this is, and I hate saying things bad about something I previously loved so much, but I'm like, nothing is happening.
Well, I think
it's just like so many, and then they wait to the last half of the second to the last episode, something happens, and then they pull out all the stops on the very last season.
Well, I think what happened was Taylor Sheridan spread himself too thin.
Yes,
he
he
started
did.
Yellowstone, now
yeah.
Other shows, and it's like, oh, well, that was my baby, so whatever. Taking the back seat. I already got my fans drawn in on this one. So.
Yeah, because I'm like, and I think he did it right with 18, the one with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
1883.
He did it good with that one because I was like, I wanted more, but he did a good one season. It was epic, and then he stopped it instead of dragging it out like he's doing with Yellowstone.
I mean,
yeah.
His other series are great
Oh,
too.
this other one with
Mayor of Kingstown.
No, and then the 1938 or whatever.
Oh, well, that was just a one season thing too.
Yeah, no, it's coming back out.
What that has to do with Yellowstone?
Well, no, it's the same series because Yellowstone and then the other
Well, I know.
2 shows were like the years before they settled.
But I'm saying it still has to do with Yellowstone.
Yeah, but I'm like, that epic love story in that one with the guy that hunts the lions, and then they got separated on the I'm just like, and I'm not sad. I'm not a love story girl, but I'm just like,
yeah, I forgot about that one. Well, that's pretty
Well,
good.
for those of you in the chat, let us know what you're watching out there too, because I'm always curious to see what people are watching. But
yeah.
What's It Called comes back too, I think, right? Or unless it's back already, Stranger Things, I think, for the final season.
See, I stopped watching Stranger, but I remember you telling me, and every
Last season was pretty good. Scrolling,
I remember you told me, or you told us here, you were like, It got me, like it, like kind of like pulled at my.
Because I stopped for a while, and then got back into it. And then last season was a big payoff with it, made it kind of worth it and stuff. So
yeah.
I think it depends because like the way they set it, the setting is like my generation basically. So like if you're Gen Xer, like everything they're doing is like set and run those times. So it's like a lot of nostalgia, right? So last season was so good, all the nostalgia they kind of threw at you with that show.
Have you watched The Umbrella Academy?
I couldn't get through really the first episode. That was about it. I got kind of like,
You need to stick it out. It's really good.
But I heard people were disappointed at the end or whatever or something, like the way it ended. So
well, I've not like watched the whole next season.
Yeah. But
Life's
this is
Rod. Everybody disappoints everybody. It's about the journey.
Nobody
not
likes
the
everything, right?
destination. Rod, it's about the journey, not the destination.
I remember when The Sopranos ended, how many pissed off some people were.
Oh gosh,
I love The Sopranos, and it was just like, that's it. Like we don't know what happened. Like everybody's like, I don't know how to tell. Like, but if it was basically like a little bit of a foreshadowing
But I get it.
from episodes earlier when he was talking to the guys, and the guy was like, you know, I wonder what happens when you die. Like maybe you just go, maybe it goes all black. There was an episode where they mentioned that, and like the way it ended is just like, yeah.
Her dad watched the whole season of Sopranos and then proceeded to watch it probably a bazillion times every night on HBO, whatever
while he eats his chocolate ice cream.
Yeah,
every
Yeah.
night.
like it was his first time ever watching it. It was like he probably seen that thing about 15 times.
Yeah.
You know what though? So I was talking to my dad when the show started, and it's so funny to me because my dad was a truck driver, and he told me like 3 stories. He's a retired truck driver. He delivered cars for Ford, and he was talking about like how people think people are assholes all the time. And my dad's not like he's like me, but not so like optimistic. He's optimistic, but not like me. But he was proceeding to tell me these 3 stories that had happened in his career of people being good and nice when everybody says everybody's an asshole, you know?
Right.
And he was basically saying what I think. I'm like, people are good. We just choose to see the bad. People are good. You know?
Yeah.
I
mean, I think people are just people myself, and it's just a matter of where your circumstances around you. I don't think you're born. I don't think you're born good or bad.
I think people are good. I mean, we all do bad things, but in our heart, we're good.
Yeah.
But I have realized I am naive, and I think that, and I choose to stay that way. I see things about people being bad, or people tell me about people not wanting good things for people. And I choose to not think that's the way everybody is, because most people are good in my mind.
Definitely gives benefit of the doubt.
I do.
Way too much sometimes. I mean, that's good,
Yeah.
but it's bad at times.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Got me into trouble though.
No, but
We were talking about Tony Soprano. I don't know if you guys Todd, you know who Ari Spears is, right? The comedian, black comedian.
Yes. Yep.
Have you seen him do Tony Soprano yet?
I have not.
Let's see here.
Have a beer.
Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
Look at that little baby.
This has been like one of the funniest impersonations I've actually seen of somebody do Tony Soprano.
What's your best impersonation? Your favorite.
Anything that's new is like a new child. But I love Tony Soprano because one, it's a white guy, Italian, and nobody expects you to do that. Ask me a question.
Tony, what did you do with the body?
Like, doesn't fucking matter what I did with the fucking body. All the guys are gonna fucking marry. Show, pussy. They know that position. I'm from the king of New Jersey. I run a fucking underbush. Uncle Junior Johnny fucking Shack. Man, you can bury it behind a fucking bottom big. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God. Like, I'm watching your mouth when you do it.
Yeah.
Is that the key? Like,
like I said, notes. Tony is ish. Talk about my sister Janish. Uncle Junior Johnny Shack. So then you got an age. You got an audio, Subios, audio, fucking bukas. He's got the man of God with the fucking gravy.
that's a different language you just spoke.
Yeah.
I mean, another one.
How good is that? That was like spot. Like I've never seen anybody do Tony Soprano that good before.
Yeah,
that was spot on. I didn't even know Ari Spears could do impersonations, but he's got a good skill there, good talent. You know. Yeah, nobody saw that coming. Nobody had that in their bingo card.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Good because he's a white guy.
Yeah. Well, nobody expects him to do a white Italian, right? So I guess.
Tony Soprano was very unlikable, though.
Oh, he was. Oh, I thought he was really likable.
I bet you.
No.
But I grew up in New Jersey. I think he was likable in the aspect of his character. Like he was basically trying to do everything he can to bring his family up and protect them as best he could. And
in the
it's
worst ways possible.
I will respect.
I mean, it was the underground life, but at the same point, it was the hustle they were doing, and it was
his mob family or his actual family.
his actual family. He was trying to do everything he could for Camille and all them to like make money and stuff.
Around on Camilla with a bunch of whores.
Both
Yeah.
Both of them. We tried to protect.
Unlikable.
But he always came back. He always came back to Camille.
Oh my God, he's such a good man. He's such a good.
I'm not saying he's a good man because he was screwing around on her. I'm saying he always had a level where he knew he wanted to keep his family over here. Like he wanted his cake and he wanted to eat it too. I'll give you that, right?
Open mouth, insert foot. I hope your wife sees this.
She loved The Sopranos. She loved watching The Sopranos.
Yeah,
It's just
she doesn't love you saying that he always comes back. What?
Right.
I'm saying.
I cut out with the problem.
I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
They don't have a place to come back to.
You're digging
But-
yourself deep.
They don't have recaps to come back with.
I don't know. He had some he had some flaws, but he had some qualities with him too. I mean, it was trying to put family type.
I'll see people differently.
I don't know. I grew up in Jersey. What do you want? I mean, I guess I'm used to that lifestyle. You see some guys like that, and it's just like.
Yeah, you should shut up now. Hope your wife does.
No. Likable characters according to Rod J. So what? R. Kelly. We got some Cosby going on. Is this Hitler?
I mean, you gotta understand. Like,
is this how
we grew up as a kid, and like Scarface was like a character that a lot of us immortalized.
Super likable guy for you, huh?
My brother had.
He was the guy. Because he was basically sticking it to the system and build up the way he wanted to build up and not be anybody's puppet. There's different aspects you see in people. So like, yeah, I have a Scarface picture. And Scarface was huge for a lot of people.
He's like trying to change.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with scars on your face. That's
Scarface couldn't catch a break. He had to make it himself and become his own type thing. Now I can't say it was legal in what he did. I'm just saying he was bucking the system. And
Mal's checking out now.
Yeah, you didn't like Scarface? You like Scarface? You just
Did
like
he around on his wife too? It'd be more.
I liked the movie.
He didn't have a wife. He didn't have a wife.
I liked the movie, but he wasn't likable.
He took the wife. He took the wife from the guy that was a kingpin that he was under.
Scarface at that time dropped the most F-bombs in a movie.
Yeah.
Until Rod J's
YouTube. Until Rod J's YouTube. Yes.
I feel like Samuel L. Jackson might have passed that number.
Well, no, yeah. It's not even a top 10 movie now.
It wasn't even Samuel L. Jackson. I think it was
No, it wasn't.
Oh, what movie was it that passed it? It was
But Scarface isn't even like top 10 or 12 anymore. So
no.
The South Park movie.
I'll look it up.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't like something like a super bad type movie. It was just like some comedy that they passed it up on. I can't remember which one it was.
Are you sure it wasn't the South Park movie? Because they have an awful lot of swearing.
Yeah, I mean at this point,
The Wolf of Wall.
The Wolf of Wall Street. That's what it was. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, that's.
I did like that. I did like that movie too. I guess you don't like Leonardo DiCaprio either in that role.
So how many times?
Well, again, not a likable person.
He was pretty. I mean, he had his moments in there. I mean,
he was charming, but he wasn't.
Yes, charming, but not likable.
All right.
Yeah.
So
if you were one of his posse, you were out there making money. He was likable. He is.
Well, you look at it from a man's point of view. We look at it from a woman's point of view.
I mean, yeah, he cheated on his wife too. I guess you could say that wouldn't be good.
Since we're on the topic, how many times do you think the F-bomb was dropped in that movie? Was what I was trying to say. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, between Leonardo and between
I'm saying
who's what's the guy that played Donnie? He was in Super Bad too. He's not. He was chubby. He wasn't chubby now. Now he's skinny.
Jonah Hill, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jonah. Between him and Jonah Hill and some of the other guys in that movie, probably like I want to say probably like 400 something times. They probably dropped the F-bomb in that movie.
I'm saying 134.
134. Mal?
God, I don't know.
Just pick a number. That's what I
Okay, 150.
Not close. Not close. Rod, you were the closest, but you were still short.
Yeah.
569 F-bombs.
Yeah. Because they would use multiple F-bombs in one sentence.
They like put it in a sentence and he making sense.
And see, I feel like I've done a little bit better, but I do use the F word.
He loves his mother. Yeah. That's
Like,
not 20 times.
I say the F word a lot of times a day, and I should because I should be more. No, I shouldn't be anything. I should be me, and I should say it as many times as I want.
So we're on that. Here's another question. What actor has said the most F-bombs in a movie? Not which movie, but which actor?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, I agree.
I think so too.
Joe Pesci.
Oh, that makes
sense. Good fellas. Good fellas.
272 times in Casino.
Casino. Yeah. Oh.
It's somebody's job to count how many times a person says the F word in a movie.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
I want that job.
I mean,
Casino was a good flick. Yeah.
Casino.
Oh my God. Our little puppy is over here laying on the floor. He's so black and he's got these little white eyelids and it almost looks like, oh my God, he is so adorable.
Tell her, Rod, she can't say those things.
Don't take that dog to Springfield. That's all I'm going to say.
No. Have you seen those TikToks? Me and Todd laugh about TikToks.
Not unless you want to get rid of it.
Have you seen those TikToks, Rod, where it's like you send little Johnny off to school and he comes back and he's had a brutal surgery and these people send him and they do these parodies and then
kids out the door.
The little boy walks off and then he comes back and his face is all bandaged and he's got big old boobs with bandages around him.
Yeah. Big Lebowski came up short. Only 260 in that one.
Total losers.
Great movie though. Big Lebowski.
I do love the Big Lebowski.
Hey, y'all were close for
Samuel L.
No, for Deadpool. You guys are closer for Deadpool.
I wonder what the new Deadpool though, because they do drop it a good amount in the new Deadpool.
No, this is the new Deadpool. Apparently, it might be the most of any of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This one, the new Deadpool, should have a lot. It should be in the running for.
So, what do you think?
Some of the words they had in Deadpool too, like who put that together? Like to put some of these words together was hilarious. So, how many like times they said the F-bomb in the new Deadpool?
Yeah.
Hang on. I think I see what it says, but
is it the new record?
no, it's not a record. It
says according to the New York Post, Deadpool and Wolverine recorded mind-boggling blank F-bombs.
It's
like
nowhere near.
No, I said Mal and Shannon's answer a while ago was close to this.
So like what, like 250 or something?
No, lower.
200?
180.
About half of that, almost.
Oh.
For the F-bomb?
It says 116.
But they said other stuff in there too besides the F-bomb. Yeah.
That's just the F-bomb.
That's an average day for me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's before you wake up.
I'm actually kind of surprised there was like, you get these movies that get released and there's like protests about like some of the joke stuff done. I'm surprised there are some people protest about some of the jokes done in the movie because they definitely rode the line there.
No, but they got the line perfect. They rode the line perfectly. Haven't seen it, but from hearing your side and my brother's side.
No, there was some you watch some you watched it and you're like, ooh, it's funny. Ooh.
It's close. It should piss me off, but it doesn't.
You think like, should I be laughing at that one? That's pretty good though.
Like, people that watch you. Hey.
Oh no, Rod, you watched The Last of Us, right? Mal, did you watch?
Yes.
On HBO. It's based on
When's that coming back out again?
It's next year, but the new trailer came out.
Oh,
I
it did?
started watching it, but I haven't gotten through the first season.
Mal, there's an episode. I think it's maybe episode 4. It's the most beautiful piece of.
Oh, you're talking about with what's it called from Parks and Recreation when he's on that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the most of all my whole life.
It really is, actually.
It is the most beautiful love story I have ever it's the most if anybody was like, what's the most impactful episode of TV you've ever saw, I would name that episode. It was just so
you know what she's talking about, Rod?
Yeah, that's the Nick Offerdahl. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm not that way, but I was like, it gives, I think, a lot of people that are prejudiced against that lifestyle, if they watch that episode with an open mind, it might.
You know what my most impactful episode is I've ever seen in my life?
What?
The Jeffersons. When George Jefferson saves the life of the Klansman.
Oh wow!
And then the Klansman's like, "You should have let me die."
I forgot about that, actually.
That was probably one of the most. I still think about that episode. And yeah,
I was getting ready to tell us when I was sick. I was laying in bed.
I totally forgot about that.
And I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie again, and it had Klansman in it. It was I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Rain Man, but it had Matthew McConaughey. He was an attorney.
Oh, that was with Samuel L. Jackson.
No, Samuel L. Jackson wasn't in
Lincoln
that.
Lawyer?
No, it wasn't Lincoln Lawyer.
So it wasn't the one when in Mississippi with him and Sandra Bullock?
I don't remember Samuel L. Jackson being.
He's the one that came out and shot the guy from the closet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which Sandra Bullock, that was probably her finest role in any movie I've ever seen. She had that tan working down there in the South that year.
That's what
Yeah. I'm like, is this a chick from Speed? Is this a chick from Speed? What?
See, I'm trying to be deep because that movie impacts me.
I know. I'm just messing with each other. I know. I had to throw it out there. We're here for the comedy too. We want people to laugh while they watch the show as well. So I got it.
Obviously,
it was a levity moment. But go ahead.
No, but I watched that
it
movie.
impacted him way more than that.
Yes,
so,
and that movie is from like 90s or early 2000s. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna I was laying in bed and sick, and I'm like scrolling. I'm like, I haven't watched that movie in forever. And I watched it, and oh my! And I'm like, that fucking Ku Klux Klan. I'm like, oh, you're all big and bad, but you got a big a fucking
hood over there. Yeah.
I'm like
that movie had like a To Kill a Mockingbird like feel to it.
Yeah.
That's one of those kind of movies like that. But you know what I was going to say earlier, because we were talking something about books at one point. I posted a thing. I don't know if you guys saw on my Facebook. There's towns that are actually banned in Charlotte's Web.
I saw that.
Yes.
Like, how do you ban Charlotte's Web? Because there's like some religious groups like about the devil because they're talking to animals. What?
Hey, you know what, Rod? You know what the good news? You know, I always like to.
So stupid.
I always like to try to find a good point about things. I'm like, nobody reads books anymore. They can get on the internet. Like, nobody actually goes and gets books anymore. And if they do, they're and I wish people did. I wish people did, because to hold a book in your hands and smell the pages and read it and see.
Yeah, that turning of the page. Yeah.
They should, but children nowadays don't know that exists, and they get their stuff.
I think you get some children that do read, but in mass, I think it's definitely been taken away from them because everything's so digital.
Yeah. The parent, but it's just like, wow.
But I'm like, Charlotte's Web, really?
Right?
Like, Because I knew like they were already banning like Animal Farm and Fahrenheit 451 and all this other. But I'm like, it's Charlotte's Web. It's Charlotte's Web.
You realize that Charlotte's Web, it's a front. It's not devil worship or whatever with the animals. No, it's the arachnophobic people, the people afraid of spiders. They're the ones banning the book. They just put a front up and said, "Oh, did you know that this is like evil? So therefore, ta-da!" And it's the arachnophobes. It's the arachnophobes.
With arachnophobia.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a book? Like I have a book. It was one of my. It's a dark book, but it's been banned in certain areas. Do you all have a book that you? And I don't want to say I enjoyed it because it was dark, but that was banned. That you're like, what? Like that people should be able to read that. That was banned.
Well, I mean, Fahrenheit 451's getting banned. I read that as a kid.
See, I've never
Lord
heard
of the Flies is getting banned. I read that as a kid.
Fahrenheit one was about book burning. Shannon?
Yeah, and it was about book. Yeah,
it was about book burning.
Oh.
It was about them burning books because they didn't want those ideas to travel. So yeah, that's what that whole book was about.
Yeah, and which is funny now because it's being banned, right? So
because the paper would burn at
the irony,
51 degrees Fahrenheit.
I think about that meme with the irony, and the guy has the iron to his face. But yeah, it's just like, you know, there's To Kill a Mockingbird being banned. It's like people are trying to hide the history of what made this country.
They don't want people.
And you gotta take the good with the bad. You take the good with the bad. You never fix anything unless you address the bad, right? To make it better. But people are just trying to ignore what happened or cover it up or whatever. So yeah.
So mine would be Snow Falling on Cedars, and it was about a Japanese family that was put into an internment camp after Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
And that one was intense. But the Boy in the Striped Pajamas, it gets banned too because people don't think that the Holocaust happened. And
that movie right there, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, is the most traumatic movie I have watched in my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also have a book that's a collection of screenplays, not screenplays, but scripts that Rod Serling wrote for Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the episodes, but some of those episodes were banned. So I have a bunch of those stories where they might show the episodes now, but those episodes weren't allowed to be shown for a really long time. So I have that too. And he was well ahead of his time. That man was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you all ever heard of the book called Go Ask Alice?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
I read that book when I was like in the 5th grade, and it was about this. She was probably like 14 or 15, and it was her diary, and she got out on the street, got on drugs, did prostitution, and it was just her diary of everything when she was going through all that, and that one got banned. But you know, when my daughter got old enough, I mean, she was probably, I don't know, 13. I was like, you should read this book, you know, because I'm like, hey, everybody's life isn't as, like, not that our life is amazing, because it's not. We have our good days and our bad days. But I'm like, we need to know what happens outside of our bubble, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Go Ask Alice. That was, and I read that, like I said, in the 5th grade, and I still remember it.
Oh, and the Virgin Suicides. That was another one.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
I think I watched. Is that a movie?
Yeah.
I watched that.
I believe they made it into a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
In like the 70s or something.
So I'm looking at a list of the top 100 banned books, and this is from 2010 to 2019. So it's a little dated on there. But on the list, you have And Tango Makes Three by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell.
That is a picture book of 2 penguins that are male penguins that were at a actual zoo, and the penguins didn't have mates, and like they gave the two
Oh, they
male
got
penguins,
gay
a little
every
baby
day?
penguin, and like they raised it as two males, and then they wrote a picture book about it, and that's banned because it's gay marriage raising a child.
Wow.
But I sold a hell of a lot of that picture book when I was a manager at Barnes & Noble. I sold a shit of that book.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey. You have the Hunger. Yeah, you have the Hunger Games, which great movie run that it had, but the book's been banned.
Where are they banned at?
This is let me see here. ALA's Office for Intellectual Freedom. It's from different libraries. Compile a list of challenged books in order to inform the public about censorship efforts that affect libraries and schools. This list includes 100 most frequently challenged books of the decade 2010 to 2019. So various libraries across the country where people were banning these books. To Kill a Mockingbird obviously was on the list as well. Yeah, that's a pretty intense one. But I mean, it's part of the history. They don't want to talk about it there. Of Mice and Men, which a lot of us probably read too back in the day.
Have you not? I've read both of those like 2 or 3 times. What about 12?
Yeah.
Shannon, you wouldn't like Of Mice and Men. You would be very unhappy with the ending on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably carry it for like 3 weeks.
That would be a very upsetting book for you, sweetie.
The Catcher in the Rye. That's another one that's on the list.
Right.
I've never read
The Color Purple was on the list.
what the fuck? That's bullshit. They should not ban that.
Right. Angry Men, is it on the list?
Which one?
12 Angry Men.
I haven't seen it yet. So I'm scrolling down.
Okay, yeah.
Goosebumps is on the list.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
I
Goosebumps is on there.
And all the Fear Street ones because they were all like amazing and I love them. So I think I own the entire collection of both.
Let's see, Gossip Girl. My Mom's Having a Baby. I think I may have said that one. Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank.
I've got that in the nightstand upstairs.
Might be our retirement.
Go to Fuck to Sleep by Adam Mansbach. Which, if you've never seen Samuel L. Jackson read that book, you're missing out something great. You should watch Samuel L. Jackson narrate it. Go to Fuck to Sleep.
Yeah. It's a children's picture book where like they have the swear words in there, but it's always like slightly covered, so you can't read the word fuck, but it's still obviously fuck. But oh my god, it's so funny. And there was a second one. There was a sequel that was like oh gosh, just another picture book for putting kids to sleep, but it had all swear words in it. So funny. I love them. I sold a lot of them too.
Yeah, you watch Samuel L. Jackson do when he reads the book. That's one of the funniest videos to watch that he does. Obviously, 1984 is on the list.
Oh yeah, of course.
About Orson B. Wells. What's his name?
Yeah, George Orwell.
George
yeah,
Orwell.
I read that one.
Yeah, and then Clockwork Orange is on the list.
Of course. That's a gimme. Fight Club's probably on there too.
That's a
Ender's Game. I remember seeing the movie, but Ender's Game is on the list.
Oh, Ender's Game, yeah.
Heather Has Two Mommies.
Oh God.
That's another kid's book. That's another.
Yeah.
Oh, Everybody Poops was actually banned too.
Yeah.
Everybody Poops was banned.
I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou is on the list.
Right, of course.
Anything that Maya Angelou, no, she was like, no.
She got banned a bunch.
Yeah. Somehow The Walking Dead is on the list too. The series, like The Walking Dead, because it started out as a book. That's on the list.
I mean, I'm not upset. I'm not really that upset about that.
Yeah. It's just different libraries that are compiled the books they're facing challenges with that are being banned in different areas. So it's interesting. But I never understood why people want to limit like knowledge for people. Like being in a book, you get to find out about other people's worlds or stories or whatever it may be. I mean,
I think when people read books, they think that people are so simple-minded that they're just going to believe everything they read and not have thoughts of their own.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was looking at another list here, and it's the read some of the most banned books of the last 100 years. Now, this was done in 2021, but number one was Catcher in the Rye. I mentioned on the other one, Beloved by Toni Morrison's on there.
I forgot about that one.
Grapes of Wrath, which was something we read back in the day.
Yeah.
To Kill a Mockingbird was number 4. The Color Purple, number 5. Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give.
Oh yeah, that was
Um,
ones.
The Great
All
Gatsby.
about bullying. It was all
The
about bullying.
The Great Gatsby's on the list, which is another book that we read.
Yeah.
I love the movie.
And then of course Cage Bird Sings, Mice and Men. George by Alex Gino.
I don't know that one.
Clockwork Orange again. Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson.
Oh, that was an intense one too.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just they're picking the different ones. They're actually challenging here. It's kind of crazy, but
But those are
Brave New World's another one that's on the list. That's another one that we read back then.
Oh, that one was who was that? Aldous Huxley? No, who wrote that?
Brave New World. I gotta scroll back down to it. Yeah, Huxley. Aldous Huxley. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good too. It was messed up, but it was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up Go Ask Alice and see if it's been banned.
This list has Slaughterhouse-Five, which is kind of a crazy book, but yeah, I can see why that might be on there. But yeah. Wow. But it's just interesting, just like trying to hide all these things for people to be able to. It's like we should be open and being able to share these things. People should be able to actually go out and read these things
for themselves.
Yeah.
People.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. That's banned in some spots.
About the girl who got her period for the first time, so you can't tell people about periods, apparently.
Yeah.
Was that by Judy Blume?
Yeah, that was Judy Blume.
Yeah. Judy Blume? Yep. Black Boy by Richard Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Joy of Gay Sex by Dr. Charles Silverstein. That was on the list. And I just laugh because The Joy of Sex isn't on the list, but The Joy of Gay Sex is. So,
of course.
And I bet if you looked hard enough in the book of The Joy of Sex, you could find gay sex in there.
Yeah. And this one has Fahrenheit 451 listed.
Mm-hmm.
That Kid Rules the World was listed here. Some of the other key ones. Rainbow Boys, which I'm sure probably LGBT as well.
For sure.
Well Talk. Don't remember that one.
Mm-mm.
The Earth, My Butt, and Other Big Round Things by Carolyn Mackler. Kind of intriguing title. I kind of like that title there.
I hope to God that's a picture book. Please make that a picture book.
I think
that's one of those pop outs.
No.
Now here's one on the list that we probably all read. That was, you think like this is definitely gotta be a literary classic, right? The Adventures of Huck Finn.
Oh, of course.
But that's on the list too. That's being one that's being banned as well.
Tom Sawyer as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's because people don't want to think that there was ever any racism in the world.
Well,
so they don't want to address it. So they want to erase it.
Well, we could all put our head in the sand, but that's not going to accomplish anything.
Right.
You got to address it. Yeah.
Shannon, they explain the whole thing. Shannon, they explain the whole thing in the very beginning of Huck Finn. What was he told to do? Whitewash the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Mark Twain had it in the writing there.
He knew.
Yeah.
And of course, and on this list, Harry Potter is number 1.
Right.
Followed by Alice. Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Yeah. It's just like nobody got time for all that. Like, live a life. Just go out there and just do you. It's like, it's kind of like, it's funny, like here, like in the States, we're like the one country where people get upset if other people speak in other languages, right?
Yep.
Like you go to other countries and like, 2 languages, 3 languages, 4 languages. That's like a sign of intelligence. Here it's like, speak English. Speak English.
That's because we're not smart.
Yeah.
Brian, when you just said speak English, that was with your white accent, wasn't it? Because you sound like a white person.
That was the Catholic school education right there.
So, I studied French in high school and tested out of French in college.
Speak
And I
English.
can't tell you how many times I was out at a bar and someone came up and was hitting on me later on in life. And I just pretended to not know English and only spoke French, and they would walk away because they couldn't understand me. And it was amazing. That was so helpful. Knowing a second language is great. And like, I
That's excellent.
random textbook sentences, like, had nothing to do with anything they were saying, but I just pretended I didn't know English. They just walked off. It was amazing.
It was one of the funniest episodes of Seinfeld. I mean, they're all pretty funny, but the one funny episode is when
Oh.
Elaine is going to get her nails done at the nail salon. And it's all like Vietnamese women, and they're always talking like Vietnamese, so she don't know what they're saying. So she brings in George's dad, who served in the military and knows Vietnamese, just so she can figure out what's going on. And they're talking about Elaine, and he's like, "That's not very nice." And they're like, "You know Vietnamese?" He starts talking Vietnamese back to him. And then he ends up dating one of the chicks afterwards. So something happens or something like that. Or, oh no, it was a long lost chick he knew in Vietnam is what ended up happening. But it's just like, it was so funny. Just like knowing other languages has its purpose, you know.
It is. And I wish I wasn't so lazy. I would love to learn all the languages.
Yes. Unadapted, True Detective season 1 is still, to my opinion, the best season. Although this last season with Jodie Foster and the other actress that, because both of them were nominated for Emmys, was pretty phenomenal. I think that was probably the second best season that they actually did. But the first one with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
That one was good.
That one was spot on.
What was
But
the
this fourth
season? Was it Don Cheadle?
was Cheadle the second with Colin, what you call him?
Farrell.
Yeah, that's the second season I think they
watched
did. Yeah.
And what is the third one? Was Andreas? What's his name? Something.
Elvis on.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
I
think
know
he was
who
the
he
third
is.
season. Yeah, he knows who
Yeah.
he
I
is.
know who he is.
She stopped watching.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I can understand what the powers that I can understand why the powers that want to be Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, you get rid of that. That's the whole thing. The Book of Eli movie was such a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
With him trying to go through and realizing what he actually had there too, and
It's Braille.
why Gary Oldman's character was burning all the books because he didn't want people to be knowledgeable and stuff.
Yep. Book of Eli was incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible there.
Now it was
The
one of
religion.
the dystopian ones, which I have trouble with.
Yeah,
That was such a good movie. Oh my god.
yeah.
Oh,
And I thought it was. I mean, I think everybody kind of saw it by now, so I won't say it at the end. But at the end, when Gary Oldman gets the book and he can't read it, that was freaking awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. The religious right wants to ban any book that teaches kids that empathy and compassion are values worth having. I think it's. I mean, there's a lot of it with too where people are trying to escape their past because
It's
some of the
about
people
control.
some of the people in the past that were doing some of that stuff are now like your grandparents and stuff out there now too, right? They didn't want their image to be tarnished. I think there's all kinds of pressures out there.
I don't think they're necessarily against empathy and compassion. I think they're against
Truth and
unmitigated
knowledge.
empathy
Truth and knowledge.
No, where you're not selective about your empathy and compassion. If you have empathy and compassion for everybody, that's not okay. But if you have empathy and compassion for the people who believe the same things as you, it's fine. You know, I think it's just a little more selective.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm looking at some of the footage from the hurricane down there, and it's already hitting like part of Florida, Cedar Key, and it's like shit flying like crazy right now. It's gonna be crazy.
Coming up here. I mean, like I can't remember what her.
Well, I told Todd you guys are supposed to have it like it's a tropical depression by the time it hits you guys.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
Like probably about 15 years ago, because I remember I was at work and me and one of my friends went like to KFC and it was bad, but one of his best friends is getting married on Saturday and it's an outdoor wedding.
That's what I was telling him before the show started.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Go tomorrow for their rehearsals.
Let's see. Also, these books are banned in schools, meaning teachers can't assign them, but those books are still available in stores and public libraries. Well, some of the public libraries are getting pressured not to carry some of the books I know too, but it's up to the stores if they want to actually do that. It's not just the right. Huck Finn, Mice and Men, Dr. Seuss book, bands comes from the left. I don't know how accurate that actually is. I don't see a lot of the left out there banning a lot of this stuff. In fact, I know a lot of people on the left, like with Tom Sawyer, they wanted to leave it as actually truly written versus people on the right that wanted to remove one key word, I guess you can say, because that is an aspect of what it was at that time. As Tom Sawyer's, traveling with Jim and stuff. That's just what he knew.
I kind of feel weird saying it's either the right or the left that are banning things. I don't think it's political necessarily every time either. I think sometimes it's people against gay marriage, and I think sometimes it's people against the Holocaust, and I think so. I really think it's not specific to a
Sometimes it's parents that want to be able to teach their kids a certain way, don't want the school to influence. So I see what you're saying on that part as well. I think when it comes to like some of the political groups, but I think when it comes to like some of the political back groups, I think you're seeing more from the right than the left. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's either one or the other pretty much, but I just think you definitely see more of an influence kind of there, at least from stuff that I usually see now. I know people on the left that like didn't want to do some stuff because it might be like, oh, we should never have maybe Mein Kampf or something like that and everything. Like,
yeah,
what? It's still, even if you have it out there, it's still a piece that you can teach what was wrong with Mein Kampf. So I think it should be available,
or
right?
Even The Art of War from Sun Tzu. I mean, like that's classical.
Is that banned? Is that banned in places?
It has been, yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that because I have a copy of that here. The Art of War. Yeah.
And Shu has down on the shelf the Tao According to Pooh. Have you seen that? It's all about Taoism and that religion, but it's set up in a way of the Winnie the Pooh characters.
Oh, okay.
So actually, like it tells the story of that religion and how that religion believes based on how the characters from Winnie the Pooh are, which I thought was amazing. Like but it's been banned. Banned it. I'm like, you just didn't like Taoism, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, depending on where you're at. I mean, remember when they were like trying to kill Saddam Rushdie when he wrote that book? Satanic Verses. In some countries that was being banned and stuff. He had to come to the States here, and they still got an attack on him all these years later. Like they carried a grudge. He wrote that book way back then, and they just got to him like, wow, they're still hunting him. Wow, okay,
yeah.
Lesson Zero on that list. No, Lesson Zero was not on the list. They should be Catching a Ride. That book stinks. I feel like the Catcher in the Rye was one of those books like you had to read like in high school or something like that and everything, and nobody really got enjoyment out of it, right? It's just
I really didn't enjoy that book very much, to be entirely honest. I get why it's important, I understand, but it was.
You could have done good.
Well, Grapes of Wrath was worse. I had a hell of a time getting through
Grapes of Wrath.
Hated that.
Well, the Great Gatsby was one that tired me out reading that one. It's like, do we really need that? Like, but it's got a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anytime they pulled out Victorian, oh my gosh, any of the the Emma books or like Anna Karenina or oh my god, I felt like I was walking through with cement shoes. I was dying.
Yeah. Well, I can remember us doing like in our English classes, like, we did college prep type stuff. And so we're reading all the Shakespeare type stuff. It's like, can we get a modern version of Shakespeare here? This where art thou? And these like.
See, I didn't like Shakespeare. That one didn't bother me. It was the Victorian that got me.
It didn't really bother me. It was just like, but first when you start doing it, you got to basically go back and decipher what everything means because it was so long ago and the way they were actually doing their dialect and everything. Yeah. But which my favorite Shakespeare was Julius Caesar still. Julius Caesar was my favorite one, and then Othello was behind that.
Oh, I love
Othello, and then Hamlet, and then Midnight Summer's Dream. So yeah.
I actually acted in the Scottish play. I'm not in a theater. I can say Macbeth. You're not
actually LOL touche. I don't know what's going on with these two. Holden is a total asshole. Yeah. Clockwork Orange, challenge a book with a teacher assigned to a high school class would probably be fired. Yeah, I don't think they were being assigned. I think the bands were being just pulled from libraries, so you could maybe pick it up as an elective type reading or whatever. But I can only imagine like seeing the movie, because we know like when you read a book, because your imagination is a little bit more in play and they can write more into it. Some of the scenes from A Clockwork Orange might have been disturbing for some people to read versus seeing it on TV. Because even on TV or the movies, it was disturbing to actually watch some of the scenes.
Well, I mean, with high school, you can't assign books that include rape. I mean, that's just out of the question in general.
Yeah.
It's just not something you can do, because
something like Clockwork Orange, I would put on a college level probably for one of the lit classes or something like that. You know, you definitely got to be more mature mind. Hey, Peggy, what is going on?
Canceled too, by the way.
Hey,
Peggy. What got canceled? What was it?
Dante's Inferno was canceled too.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
It's really funny because he got to the level that was for clergy, that was like clergy that have gone bad, and they're like head first into these holes, and they're getting their butts burned with hot coals and stuff. Like, but it's he knew who all the clergy was. He was naming actual clergy from the time period, and it was very upsetting for a lot of people, which I found hilarious.
I'm listening to you, but Todd's freaking me out with the doll over there. But go ahead.
I'm a little freaked out right now. I don't know why that's happening. You know, Todd, Halloween is not yet. We still got a little time.
Now our daughters, when she was doing cosmetology, that was her
practice.
Work on haircut and stuff.
She is not a happy person. She's not happy.
The way Todd was rubbing that doll, he's a few.
I said we're getting in.
He's a few. I'm saying, I was like, he's a few bits away from being put the lotion in the basket. He was getting close to that with the way he was rubbing.
I grabbed it. I'm like, we're getting in Silence of the Lambs. No, but funny story about my daughter's heads here. So the way our house is set up, the basement.
Daughter's heads here.
No.
This is your granddaughter Peggy too, so yeah.
Yes, I think she probably she's yes. So the way our house is, the steps going down to our basement, it's open, and she lives down here in the basement. When she's here, she's off to college now. And she's kind of like me, she's a little messy. So she just throws shit around or whatever. And she threw a blanket down the steps, and this head was like peeking out of the blankets. And you'd walk up stairs and look down the steps, and it looked like some dead lady was laying at the bottom of the steps.
It totally did. It was like, what the hell? What is that?
And it scared the shit out of me like the first couple of times, but then I'm like, no, I need to leave that there so when guests come over, they can scare the shit out of them.
It's like, what's going on?
Super nice of you.
Yeah.
Funny. She's not apparently. No, she's not amused about anything. She don't like it at all.
Yeah, no. JT, I would say Clockwork Orange is definitely not a book for young people, but again, it's just the library aspect, I think.
Yeah.
I was assigned Joyce's portrait of the artist as a young man in high school, but it was a private Catholic prep school.
Gotcha.
Huck Finn is often banned for its use of the N-word in casual dialogue, but that's the times, and that's one of the things. From the way Mark Twain kind of put it out there, it was kind of like almost that I understood it going through the years is kind of holding a mirror up to America in the use of the word. That's how it was actually done. And so just taking it out takes out part of what America was at that time, right or wrong. And the only way you get better is knowing where your wrong spots were so you don't actually repeat them again.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Twain traveled Europe and stuff too, and so he saw all these different cultures and how different cultures did their things. And when he came back, he was like, "Oh yeah, I got it."
Yeah.
I said the same thing like years ago in downtown at U of L's campus in Louisville.
Yeah.
They were taking down statues of like Confederate whatever. I was like, I get why you're taking them down, but I'm like, man, you're just trying to erase history there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get better unless you know what the past was.
And
you know
see, I feel a little differently about
she's
that.
Like, I'll take them down. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm totally with that, but it's like you can't erase it.
They should put a plaque but those people shouldn't have statues. I'm like,
No, they shouldn't, but
You don't want to
Yeah,
celebrate it, but you want to
what
acknowledge
you're
it.
saying.
Don't
Yes.
That's the thing.
celebrate.
You can leave it. I mean, that's the like you can have the statue, but acknowledge what the plaque what actually was and where they were found to be a traitor or whatever it may be.
Yes.
Blah blah blah.
Yes.
if you
Um,
tear it down, you're gonna end up going backwards.
but I feel like I don't know if you have to celebrate like in a park rather than just put it in the museum.
Yes.
That's another thing too. Like so
Or
it's kind of like
something
people always bring up like you talk about Germany. There's
Yeah.
nothing there about them. There's nothing there for statues for any of the Nazis, right? But you can still learn about the Nazis in Germany through other methods.
And
There's
you
other
can
ways to still
take
tell
the
history
Holocaust.
without actually having stuff out there where you're doing something like that or memorializing it.
Yeah.
But it's weird because here in the States, for those mainly in the South where they had like the Confederacy, they have family members that were part of that. So for them, they lose a part of their history when you take it down too. So I can see why they would actually be upset with it, even though they not have the same thinking they have what they had maybe back then. It's still kind of part of their legacy. So it's a weird type thing here in the States. Yeah.
Like it or not, I mean,
Right.
you can't move forward or
You
know,
can't
move
forget.
forward,
You can't
but-
forget what happened.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be erased,
Yeah.
but there should be like
Should be something explaining it.
yes.
Yeah.
There-
Yes,
If
I
you're
agree.
gonna have
I agree.
yes.
I mean, they were just tearing it down. They were just taking them away.
No, and I totally get what you're saying. That's like the Dixie Chicks.
Stuff
Are
like-
the
I
chicks-
mean, because here's the thing, like you never hear about like a Grant statue getting taken down, right? But Grant has slaves.
Yep.
You're right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how come that doesn't happen for the northern part as it does for the southern
Right.
part? And
Yeah.
not everybody in the southern part were slave owners. You had to be, rich, wealthy white man, really, to afford that type of stuff. So,
Right.
so there are differences that were all part of this whole type of thing, and that's where it kind of gets lost. Where it can't be just a black and white. There's, even though Shades of Gray gets banned, there's a lot of shades of gray in play.
There's more than
Most
50.
things
There's
are
more
great.
than
Yeah,
50.
there's more than 50, right?
Yes. So we shouldn't just act like it never happened. We should be able to like still.
Yeah, not left or right, up and down,
Acknowledge.
haves and have-nots. Right. Yeah.
We should acknowledge it still, but we shouldn't celebrate it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Banned books always political. Holocaust denial is political. Being against gay marriage and gay rights is political, etc. Clockwork Orange, written in a weird Russian-inspired dialogue. Alex and his drogues speak. There's no glossary translation, just a strange dialogue to translate yourself. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you said it was a rough read for sure.
Well, it's all slang.
Here we got Bumming House. Cheers. Todd and Shannon trying to replicate the cover of the Yes album. There you go. I guess with the head, maybe they had the head on the Yes album, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Aubrey's asking Chucky doll. It is getting near Halloween, so maybe.
No, Todd, we should integrate her into our channel and give her a name and let her have her own opinion. And sometimes you can make her opinion.
By comparison.
I can make her
Shannon?
opinion.
Yeah.
You're gender fluid.
Cheers, prescription. Happy Thursday to you, my friend. Do you have a name for the doll, by the way?
No,
Now it's going to be Pat.
a gender fluid name. We should
Gender
name
fluid,
her-
yeah.
Pat from Saturday Night Live.
She's hot. Look
No,
how
that's
hot
too on the nose. You need something that can
She's
be
hot, isn't
male or female.
That's not true,
No.
JT. That's
Me-
I'm thinking
JT.
Alex.
no,
Hold on,
Kendall.
JT, that's not true. He actually had 2 slaves that were actually on record for him owning when he was actually he let them free like after the war and stuff. So he did have slaves.
I've had students, male and female, named Kendall. Go with that one.
Well, I'm thinking Alex is a good gender.
Oh, you need a
name.
Y in there. ALYX.
Well, we're not going to get that deep yet. We're just she's just being developed. Let's start with her name is Alex, and then we'll find out if she likes IPAs or stouts.
There you go.
And then, yeah, I think she needs to lighten up. She just looks a little serious.
You could try redrawing the eyebrows. I think that'll help.
I think we should. No, I think we need to leave her just the way she is because you know what? She is. They are who they are, and we don't need to.
And they are okay.
Yes. We don't need to put our
Leave as it is.
our beliefs onto them.
And it's perfectly fine to have a resting bitch face.
It is. It is. I wish I would be okay with the resting bitch face, but I can't do it. I smile at everybody.
Actually, JT, I made a mistake. He had one slave, so it was William Jones. I just double checked that for sure. So he had one that he actually did purchase. But you have one, you're still guilty of having a slave.
Right.
I mean, does shoe count?
It just
Does what?
blows my
Does shoe
You
count?
said
as fine?
the shoe count is one? I think shoe's more of an indenture servant for you.
She's a serf.
There was no screw. Rips off the thing to Bonanza.
He's allowed to live here as long as he does his stuff. So he's a serf.
Yeah. Thank God the Dixie Hummingbirds gospel group active since 1920 hasn't changed their name. Yeah, I mean, you know, you talk about Dixie, like the Dixie Chicks changed their name to just the Chicks. I never really felt like was offended from it being a Dixie Chicks. I'm like, you can still be like, I sit there and I was watching Smokey and the Bandit earlier today because it was on, and he has a Confederate flag on the Trans Am. I don't get turned off because of Smokey and the Bandit. I'm like, you look at the character of Bandit, you don't see him being like kind of a race. Like you look at Sheriff Justice being more racist than what Bandit is, right? He's chasing the guy with the Confederate tag, but that was the South back then. Dukes of Hazzard, you never saw Bo and Luke doing anything, you know, that was kind of that way. So
I mean,
it's weird. It's weird because there's some people, they see it and they get a big turn off of it being racist. And there's some, if you grew up like in the South, where you're just like, well, that's just part of what the flag was back then in certain tradition.
but
You know, it's
Ross,
just
like, yes. Like when I watch old movies, I'm like, I feel like it had a different meaning than it does now. Like if I see something old and there's a Confederate flag, it flashes through my mind that I'm like, yeah, that's not okay. But I'm like, it was a different time.
it's a different time.
But
Well, it's
now,
like,
if I see some fucking
No one else heard
pickup
that,
truck
right?
running through town with the Confederate flag, I'm like, you're a racist piece of shit.
well, you joke about like living it. You joke about living in Michigan, right? And Mal knows this. You go up to Michigan, you'll see Confederate stuff all the time.
Yeah, not that much. I
I
haven't seen
see
that.
it when we go up there. We've seen it when we go up there. I mean, but it's just like, it's like, do they know they were not on that side of the battle back then? But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Am I really the only one who heard her slip? No?
Still, it's like, come
I
on,
guess
man.
so. I'm the only one, huh?
That what?
What'd you say, Mal?
Am I the only one that heard her slip saying that twice? No? I must
What?
be the only one.
What
Well,
is that?
you left the L out of flag twice, and you said Confederate.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Wow. Wow. Are you trying to get me banned, Shannon?
She didn't say it right, but she didn't say that.
No. She started to say the word flag and missed the L, and then had to backtrack. But like
No,
each
she-
time I started cracking up, I'm so
Did
sorry.
JT?
I see moron right there.
She didn't say it right, but she didn't say that.
Oh, okay. It
Yeah.
sounded like
Say
it
that.
through the speakers, so
But
it just
she
threw me
kind
for
of
a
did
second, and
stumble
it
on
made me
those.
crack up. I'm
Yeah.
She
sorry.
said it twice, but you didn't say that twice.
Oh
So
my
now I'm going to the YouTube censors coming after me again. You got to listen to the whole thing.
No, it was obviously a slip while you're pronouncing. It was no biggie, but it just made me laugh. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
Instead of
god.
flag, you said
But it's
Oh,
fun.
No, I'm gonna dig
He's
out
like
my-
Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy would never say that word. Ron Burgundy is a man that people, he would never say something like that. Yeah, it's funny you say that, JT, because when I was watching it, I only watched for a little bit because I was working, but that was one of the part of the scenes that I was watching about the Diablo sandwich. So yeah, classic scene there.
God, I hope I didn't say that.
Yes, it's my favorite group, but they did a lot of heavy lifting in the early years. Yeah. Owner of a Lonely Heart. That was yes. Confederate F&G is the best punk band in Alabama. There you go.
Hey, but if I did say it, I'm thinking of a cigarette that they smoke in the UK.
Jeez. Why are you digging? Well, you're just digging more of a hole. Just leave it alone. Just leave it. Just walk away. It's like the body's buried. Just walk away. Just walk away.
Hey, and we did review I made a card up of a beer called Shallow Grave from Grimm. It's right here on the top. Grimm.
Oh.
Nope. Is that there? We do. We
This
have
is
a.
right here.
We have a. It's no Heretic Brewing Company has.
Oh, Heretic's pretty solid. Yeah.
Heretic, and it's a porter, and it's called Shallow Grave. And
There you
if
go.
you look up the meaning of the beer, they have a whole blurb that's really catchy about a shallow grave. It's basically like you're gonna dig a grave, but you're gonna be drinking, and so you're not gonna get 6 feet in because you're gonna enjoy the beer. So it'll be a shallow grave.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's going to teach everybody about everything about craft beers.
Macho Man. Dig it. So, Shannon, and Todd, because Todd's seen it through the eyes before, but Shannon, how was your experience going to Jungle Gyms as a person on the lookout for beer, as a new beer shopping experience? Any thoughts? Like, how'd it go? Like, were you like pumped up? Were you excited? Were you overwhelmed? Like, Jungle Gyms, it's huge to take in. That's a lot of stuff happening in Jungle Gyms.
Okay, so I will tell you this. I'm very impatient, and we like went and did our things in the other areas for like, and then I'm like, I'm going to the beers, and so I just started reading. I had my reading glasses on, and some of the shelves were. I went to the singles.
Because they keep them separated by like regions and states, like, which is nice. So yeah.
And I did like I started at the very end, and when we left, probably like $90, $90 was groceries, and the rest of them were beers, and we spent $400 there.
That can happen. That can happen at Jungle Gyms.
I just went and I was looking and just grabbing beers and putting them in the carts because I'm like, we're not going to be back here for probably.
You go once a quarter, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
No, that's what I told her.
Yeah,
I was like,
or so,
we need
yeah.
to Go back a certain amount of money each time or whatever, each paycheck, whatever. And like then every 3 months or 4 months, we'll go back and resupply.
And I'm not
it's 100 times better than any liquor store
and
around
I'm
here.
not. I'm a in the moment kind of girl. I'm just like, all right, hey, and we're traveling up here, like we're gonna just make the most of it. And so I start, and I didn't really pick that many IPA. I think we got like 50 beers, single cans,
Probably
40
total.
to 50.
Yeah.
Beers.
Yeah, I think Todd, me like 43 or something. You thought somewhere around there, but yeah.
In like a
Yeah.
4-pack, so yeah. 50.
Yeah, you say you have 4 packs, so you have more than that, really. Yeah.
So last night we were up, he put them in the fridge downstairs. And so I was like, let's go to, cause I'm like, I need to like have my list. And,
Styles.
yes.
I thought she was doing Mr. Roboto for a second. I need to have my Mr. Roboto's face. Yeah, but
So I got my notebook out. I was like, I'm going to go downstairs and write stuff down. He's like, well, I need to go down. And I'm like, Jesus, this is going to take forever if you're going to get involved. And then, so he was like,
did you teach her Untapped? Did you show her Untapped where she could just mark him right in there, and that way it keeps a list of her beers for her?
hey, I'm old school. I'm
Okay.
Stepping stone.
Just trying to help. But go ahead. You're good.
You've seen her card. She's gonna have a card catalog.
He pulled all.
He will have a card catalog. You're right.
He pulled them all.
Dewey
out.
Decimal System.
He put them in IPAs, stouts, porters, sours, and I'm like, all right.
And then we had kind of miscellaneous like lagers.
Yeah.
And different.
And so I had my
different
notebook,
beers,
and I'm like, Todd,
Old mills.
brewery, state, the name of the beer, the style, and I'm like, and he's like just staring. I'm like, come on.
He
We
wasn't
did
that.
go.
He wasn't.
I was thinking that.
You didn't say that. I was waiting for it because I was so clenched. I was like, oh my God, I'm on ice right here. What's going on?
I feel like Shannon's like Billy Madison. Today, Junior.
I'm like, come on. I am very.
Today. Come on.
I am very. Nobody would expect that like, I was like, brewery, beer, style. And he's like,
And she was sounding off like I was like,
and
I thought
Todd
I
was
was
like,
in the
Yeah.
military. I was like, yes.
Todd was like, I'm like, no, the next one, the next one, the next one. And he's just like, and I'm like,
It
Shannon,
ain't that either. You know, it's not
Shannon,
that.
and I'm like, give it to me. Just give it to me.
Shannon,
Yes.
could you do the breathalyzer again just for kicks? I'm just curious.
For sure. Let's see.
I mean, you got to keep in mind this is
Because we're about
remember
3 hours
what the
in
last
now, and
one-
I'm curious.
from Temu, so you got to keep that in mind.
Of course.
Oh
Was it
yeah.
0.17 before, right?
It's gonna be like
No, it wasn't
it's gonna be like 9.9.
Guess what you all guess what it's gonna be. Here, hang on.
I think it's going to be 0.24.
I mean, she's been drinking Miller Lights, though, right?
There you go.
Yeah, but how many?
That's a good question. Were they small or were they short or tall too?
All right, Rod, what's your guess?
I'm gonna say 0.19.
Oh, hang on. That's the. Oh shit. We got to get to the ABV. Hang on though, because to have different readings, it's like
I was gonna say that seemed you'd be dead if that
Yeah.
was the.
because it's like it's got different like 3 different readings with different measurements. But could you all talk about something else and then
Yeah. So here's Shannon and Todd stacking beers, and Shannon's like,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
and Todd can't answer quick enough. So
Oh, I'm not bad.
That's not bad at all.
What is it?
0.042.
oh, you're back down. You see, you're drinking Miller Lights.
Yeah.
Ron,
Yeah.
I didn't send you the picture of
Let's
all the
see what
beers we
Todd
got.
says
did I?
though. Here.
No, send me the picture of it.
I will, yeah, because I took.
Yeah.
One of some of our friends were in a group page, and they want to know what we got, so I sent it to them.
You should put you should put on the community tab from your channel.
That's true.
So share your picture with everybody so they know what you got. Maybe I'm embarrassed to admit that 90125 was my entry point. I still love that album, but it didn't take me as long to go backwards and realize that the 70s stuff was even better. They're talking about Yes, by the way, if you don't know.
Too?
Says,
Are you more than me?
according to this, I am.
Well, my personality's a little bit more hyper than yours.
Well, you're drinking more higher ABV than you are.
I'm 0.5
Right. I act.
or 0.0.
Wait a minute, 0.05? So both of you can drive right now. You're good to go.
It's 0.04.
Yeah.
It's our personalities. It's not.
Remember,
I
Rod,
already
it's
act a
Timo.
little drunk when I'm sober.
Right? Timu, right? Yeah. It might not be fully accurate.
I'm drinking more high ABV stuff, so.
You need to stop drinking. You have a problem. You're
Yeah. Yeah, you have a problem.
Talk to the hand.
I can name a few.
talk to you.
Don't drink too much beer and don't start forest fires.
I know a place that's peaceful and quiet, a place where animals play. It's called the forest, but every year we start forest fires. A careless match, a cigarette, and poof, fire. So the next time you're in the forest, be extra careful, okay?
No, but doesn't she have that?
If you knew it was me, would you listen?
I'm never gonna get tired of that because that's like the best porn PSA ever out there. Like,
Hey,
Terrible.
hey, Rod, that bitch has the sexiest voice I've ever heard.
I mean,
this is Gen X growing up in the 70s. These are the commercials we were fed as kids. Like, yeah.
He has a sexy voice.
I mean, porn actresses need other jobs too. So
So in the
Porn
commercial,
actresses
was
don't
she
have
actually
to depend on
walking
her
in the
voice.
woods?
was she walking in the woods?
Like the original commercial, was she?
I think that was a radio ad. I don't think it was a commercial. I think it was a radio ad. Yeah, yeah. So let your imagination do the walking.
These boots are made for walking. That's just what I'll do.
Hey, as we hit the third hour of the show, if you're new here, just to let you know,
No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer. No champagne or girly drinks. We drink beer and beer and beer, beer, beer.
I just wanted to clear that up, make sure you guys were aware.
I'm a little offended. I've never
I'm glad
really
you cleared that up. I was on tour.
Girly drinks.
girly drinks.
We drink beer.
Girly drinks. I didn't write the song.
And I said the same thing to him when he first started playing it. I was like, "Really, girly drinks? Like you have two girls?"
But now you kind of warmed up to it. Now you kind of warmed up to it.
Now you like it.
I haven't warmed up to it. That still annoys me.
You dance to it. You dance to it.
I hate champagne.
I thought that was your anthem.
But you dance to it.
My anthem is "Turn Around."
Well, yeah.
My anthem.
Now, Rod, you have to play that one because you didn't play that more well either. So.
Oh my!
You can't play. You can't just say to play. It's got to be in the right feel, in the right moment. You know, you got to find the right spot to put it in there. So.
Ew, that sounded
Okay,
gross.
Rod.
Just talking about.
Hey,
You
Rod.
feel like Barry White voice to say that shit. Stop that.
Fury or
My Barry White voice.
Fury or
Your Barry White voice. Oh, wait, that sounded wrong.
Hello,
Rod
ladies.
J BeerVentures.
Yes, that's my name, Rod J BeerVentures. Wait a minute. I first
Drink.
JT said I first heard John Anderson's voice on the radio around 1972 or 3. Close to the Edge was my entry to me. Yes, from 68 to 80. I don't know much about any of their albums after 84. So JT, just wanted to get that out there because they're having a good conversation about Yes.
Yes.
I guess I moved in on it a lot of way. What are you, P Diddy, moving in on it? But I still go back to the 70s stuff.
Don't
What?
say that to him.
Why?
He said he moved on in a lot of ways. Moved on in a lot of ways.
I moved on in a lot of ways. Yeah. Not in on it. I was making a joke.
I know, but
Shannon, what are you? Wait a minute. Are you to the point now you can't take P. Diddy jokes anymore? You were laughing earlier. You were laughing earlier on the P. Diddy jokes. Should I go back to Bill Cosby and tell the jokes, or R. Kelly, or I go back to Bill Cosby. He was everybody's dad back in the 80s, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this channel is about beer.
Hey,
So you know.
Cheers, Blue. Great to see you, my friend. Hey, Blue, stay safe down there because I know you're about to get hit in Georgia with the storm. So
Stay safe, darling.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod J BeerVentures.
Mm-hmm.
The only pervert.
Yes.
The only pervert I'm okay with making jokes about is that guy on Family Feud that used to try to kiss all the guests.
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dalton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
pretty much succeeded. What about Bob Barker?
He didn't
He would
kiss
get kisses. He would get kisses from contestants when they come up. You go back and look at the old Bob Barker. Yeah.
You know, with Bob Barker though, no, Bob Barker, his problem was the model. But when the people would come up and try to kiss him, he would try to direct them elsewhere. Like he tried not.
He would take some kisses though. He would take some kisses.
Oh yeah, the people who he was
Yeah.
actually attracted to, but most of the people he was like, "Oh, okay, and we're going over here now."
Yeah.
You
But you know what it all comes down to.
What?
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know why
I
we did that, but
didn't even catch what that was until the very end. Like
It wasn't playing very good.
it was hard to understand or hear.
maybe the 15 minutes are up for the Hawk Tour girl. Then maybe it's just over. Maybe we're done.
Oh.
No more Hawk Tour. No more spitting on that thing. She's done. She's out. 2024, you're done. Just like P. Diddy. Because Cat Williams said 2024, P. Diddy was going to be done, and then it happened. He said TD Jakes too, but watch out, TD. You better watch out. Cat Williams knows something we don't know, but he's calling them all out.
Hey. You know what? P. Diddy fucked up.
Oh, I mean, he's going to jail. I mean,
In jail.
he's in jail, but he's going to be guilty going to jail, the prison.
Yeah. He's
Like-
he's in the jail. He's not in the prison yet.
Yeah.
That's what happens. They put you in the jail until you get your trial, and then they put you in the real prison.
Yeah. But can he go to
So they-
prison? And
yeah,
could
they-
him and R. Kelly make one of the best albums ever? We'll see. We'll see.
Yes, the Jailhouse Rock.
The jailhouse. The jailhouse bump and grind.
no, that's
No, no.
That'll get you banned.
No, Rod, Rod, you just made a very good point. Like R. Kelly, he went through all that, and then like he's
Right behind the scenes, Bob Barker behind the scenes. If you know the stories, yeah, Bob was doing some business.
Like, R. Kelly's still alive, but to the public, he's dead because he's in prison, locked away. Nobody knows what's happening, but he's still alive. So what if R. Kelly and P. Diddy go to the same? I mean, it'd be a very good 60 days in.
So now the shit's going on is like, was P. Diddy?
Oh shit, P. Diddy will be more than 60 days if he gets convicted.
What if they're in the same cell?
Was P. Diddy behind Biggie Smalls?
Put them in the same cell.
Yeah. People have rumored that for years that P. Diddy was behind Biggie Smalls just getting shot. There's actually, so now we go down the conspiracy lane, right? So back in the day, like Heavy D used to be on P. Diddy's record on his label. And Heavy D was going to write. Supposedly, Heavy D was in the mix of writing a book about like a tell-all type thing when Heavy D supposedly died. Then there were a couple other people that were supposedly doing some stuff that were going to expose things, and then when they actually died, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you got it.
Heavy D was now that we found love, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, Heavy D. Look at you with the Heavy D going the way back.
No, I was in junior high and I freaking loved Heavy D.
Yeah, he does.
Heavy D was the man, big man that moves back in the day. Yeah, but when he had died, but he was on Diddy's label when he died.
Yeah.
And then there was some people saying Notorious was going to be doing something, and then when he got shot, so there's questions around P. Diddy.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies going on.
You know who else? Like the same timeline. I loved Heavy D. I loved PM Dawn.
Oh, Set Adrift, Memory Bliss. I was never a huge fan of them. No, I was never a huge fan. They were a one hit wonder. They had the one hit, and that was it. I mean, I was never a huge. Set Adrift, Memory Bliss is the only one that made any noise for him.
No, I'm
yeah.
Hate you, Rod.
PM Dawn had at least.
I was a DJ back then. Nobody wanted to hear any of their stuff besides Set Adrift, Memory Bliss.
This is right.
That was it. That was it.
PM Dawn. Here we go. What? I'm on PM.
Don't play it.
I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah, you get banned.
I'm not. I Die Without You. Remember that song by PM?
No.
Dawn? I Die Without You. Looking through patient eyes.
No, does not ring a bell.
Well, I guess I was a bigger fan than you.
You would know.
You were. You may have been. You may have been. But as far as at their time, they didn't really stack up versus a lot of the other artists at times. Set Adrift, they would be seen as a one hit wonder.
How old are you, Ron?
55.
So you're like
double nickel.
9 years
older.
So
you're not 46.
I'm 46.
Are you? I didn't realize that.
So it's true.
And so I was in like the 7th or 8th grade with PM Dawn, and you were like probably graduated from high school already. So
wait a minute. You said what? We'll go back. You said what? You turned what?
I was in junior high when I was listening to PM Dawn.
Okay. Yeah, that was out of high school. I was in college.
Graduated from high school.
Yeah.
So we probably were listening to different music, and PM Dawn came out probably about the time when I was in it. Yeah.
Going back to listen to PM Dawn. I don't want to set Adrift to Memory Bliss, Emerson. I'm just saying.
Hey,
the song was okay. It was solid. It got like, whatever on the Billboard charts. It was never a huge one of mine, but it was a little bit. It was, I don't know. It was kind of a little bit. It was like trying to be a little hip hoppy, but it was a little more R&B. It's almost like
So I was 13 and you were like
It was after
20
It was a little after-
something.
Yeah.
So it's just different times in our life.
Yeah.
Because I didn't listen to the same music when I was 15 or 13.
I'm just impressed that you knew Heavy D now that we found love. That just
Oh my god.
that's the highlight. That's the highlight tonight right there. Yeah, that was a banger back in the day. Produced by Teddy Riley of Guy, of course. Because that was all during the whole New Jack Swing time.
Okay, so I want you all to listen. This is like one of mine. I have two new favorite songs, but one of them is by this guy named Phineas. And he's actually Billie Eilish's brother, but I didn't know
Billie
that.
Eilish, she's about to come here. She'll be playing across the street from me in a couple weeks. Yeah, Billie Eilish, yeah.
She's a talented girl, and I like some of her music, but her brother Phineas has this song out, which I didn't even know it was her brother until somebody told me when I told him about the song. But it's called
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, Billie Eilish's brother Phineas, and the song is called, oh God, I've got so many songs here. It's called For Crying Out Loud by Phineas. For Crying Out Loud by Phineas.
Crying out loud.
And it's PH, not F, Phineas. It's a really good song. I make Todd listen to it all the time.
This is a good song.
I get really stuck on songs and then, yes, it's such a good song. Oh, I love it so much. We're going to listen to it again.
I was going to try to find.
Music is my most favorite thing in the entire world.
I'm big on music behind beer. Of course, that's why I have to react. I got to do more reactions on the reaction channel at some point. But I was going to tell you, one of the cool artists I did on the reaction channel that you should check out.
Who?
I got to just find it here. Because it's very unique. I think you would like definitely dig the music that he's actually doing.
It's on YouTube or TikTok.
It's like Kai Tempest, Kae, and then on YouTube. Well, he did it on my reaction channel. But the name of the artist is Kae, and the last name is Tempest, Tempest.
Kae Tempest.
Kae Tempest.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a very unique sound, and just and I think I'm trying to make sure I say it right, because I think he transitioned from a she to he or he to a she. I can't remember offhand, but he's awesome talent.
Yes, that's the thing. We just all can be who we are, and when we are who we are, we can like give good vibes to everybody.
Yeah.
If you're not who you are, then what you spread out into the world's not really that true, is it?
It's false.
It is false. Oh my God, I love that you said that. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I need to do more reactions. I haven't done it in a long time.
Oh, I found Kae Tempest, the artist.
Well, if you search Rod J Reacts, you'll see the reaction I did to the video.
Okay, so this reminds me of an artist that I found, and he's
Trez in the house. Cheers, homie. Great to see you, my friend.
I'm gonna go get another beer. But
wait, where's she going? I thought you was saying something. Finish your statement.
Remember that one artist I was telling you, and he was a little boy, but he had that big old deep voice, and he sounded like Bonnie Bear. But yeah, I mean, I'll be right back. You can continue. You don't have to be with me the whole time I finish.
Well, thanks, Shannon. Thanks for letting me know.
So, guys, yesterday, she worked a normal day at the tap room, 4 to 9 or whatever. Well, 3 to 9. But afterwards, he got roped into canning.
Yeah.
And I stayed up to give him a ride home. and he ended up canning until 5 a.m.
Oh gosh.
And I'm about to pass out. Like I'm
Oh,
getting
I'm sure.
tired. So if you guys don't mind, I think I'm gonna crash. And I hope you guys have fun because I can't do another beer for sure. So
No, we're probably end here in a little bit, anyways.
Right.
but you guys
Yeah.
have fun. I love you bunches and see you next week. Yes.
All right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
So, all right. Cheers, Mal. So we'll probably end here next 5 minutes or so. But
Yeah. No, listen, Rod, the universe, something is going on with the universe. Like for the last 2, maybe month, like I've just felt everything's been off kilter. Like and it's not just about the beers, it's just about everyday life. Every beer I open fizzes, something, the dreams I'm having, like something is not right with the universe right now. Something's off. And I know I sound crazy, and that's fine. And I could be wrong, but it's just a feeling I have in my soul.
You sound
cheers, cheers, JT. That's awesome for her as well. So cheers.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's take a pull up. I could probably pull it up here real quick to show you. Let me see. Where is it at?
No, he's happy right here. When I went to the bathroom, or when I went to get another beer, he got up.
Stuck over your ass.
He just loves me.
Because you hold him all the time. He wants to be home.
He loves you.
And I love him. Oh my God, I'm so
happy. Once you hold him 25 out of 24 hours.
And I will.
I know you, because you do. That's why he wants it.
All right, skip that. Let's see here.
You need to make sure you listen to that song, Phineas. That Phineas song. It's like very it's one of those songs that the words are kind of deep, but the beat is uplifting. It's one of those yeah, it's a really good song. He's got a new album coming out, which I've never listened to any of his albums, but
it's not out yet.
No, like in the very beginning of October or something.
So this is Kai right here, and it's intense. Just the lyrics and the music actually done. So this was off of the reaction channel that I have there when Kai performed that live. Great experience out of the UK. I do a lot of the UK artists on that reaction channel, but just great energy and everything. But it's just the intensity of it, the writing of the lyrics of it. It takes me back to like when I was a DJ in the 90s and like hearing stuff like early like Nirvana and things like that, where it's just the authenticity and just the roughness of it comes through so nice there. It's powerful. Good stuff.
You look, it looks like it's impacted you in that. Like, and I'm not being like facetious. Like, yeah, that looks.
Yeah, I need to do more of. I was trying to find time for stuff. I need to do more reaction stuff, but yeah, and just like a lot of comments down here were definitely loving the reaction and just the love that Kai gets. But Kai was actually transitioned as well, so but great artist. So yeah.
Love music. I don't think I would want to be
awesome.
Art.
That's nice, JT.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Good for her.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
It's just like the thing. That's like what I told my daughter. She's going to school for interior design, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But she's like, I'm going to school to do this, and I probably won't even make any money, and blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, would you rather go to school for something and hate it and make a lot of money, or would you rather go to school for something that you enjoyed and make enough money? You
Yeah.
know? Like you're gonna have to give up something one way or the other.
Right.
Money or joy. Would you rather give up money or would you rather give up joy?
Most time you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'm just
There's
like,
definitely a point where it comes down to personal satisfaction, right? So
Yeah.
you got to be
And I
happy what you
mean,
do.
yeah, some people would rather give up joy for money, and some people would rather give up money for joy. I'd rather
Yeah.
give up money for joy. You know.
JT said, I went to school for what I loved, and now I make zero money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a reason they would say like starving artist stuff, but it was a passion and stuff. So it's,
and I do love that, like, because I might be like, I was never the mom that wanted my daughter to be like a cheer. I was never that one that was like, I want to live through my daughter. I want her to be popular and be a cheerleader and all
like
that.
one of those, what's that show? Like the Dance Moms where they have their
Yeah,
kids
I
at
would-
pageants. Yeah.
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 And I didn't think I was any type of mom that would try to live through her daughter. But when she went to school and she was like going for something artistic, and I
Yeah.
never realized, but I was just like, art makes me so happy. And I'm like, she's going for something, and I hope that it can make her as happy. I never went to school
Yeah.
for art, but I'm like, I hope that she goes and she can be an artist. Even interior design's art,
Yeah.
Beer is art.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a form. It's
That
all a
is,
form of art.
that's
really.
the thing. Beer, which I've realized since we started doing our channel, brewing a beer is art. Like,
I like that. Yeah.
and the label is art. The process of making a beer is art. You put all these flavors together and you hope somebody, beer
Yeah.
is art. It's art.
Definitely is.
And I love it.
Yeah. I mean, just the way they make beer, just like chefs make cuisine. It's
I was going to say it's the same as like chefs or whatever.
Yeah, it
They make
totally
food,
is.
and beer is the same kind of like.
But I think beer
We'll
is
see.
even more complicated than food because you have to wait so long for it to like cook and then put
yeah.
it in, and then you have to.
ferment and just
Yes,
see, like, okay, now,
it's way more risky than being
Yeah.
yeah,
because
not-
you have
it's not-
to wait so long.
it's not the instant gratitude. Like
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah.
You have to wait
If it's
so.
bad, right away. But brewing beers like could be 6 weeks later, and you're like, oh, this sucks.
And you
now all of a
put-
sudden, I gotta start all over
You
again.
put all that
Yeah.
Yeah,
into brewing
Yeah.
that beer and all the process and and then you're
That's
like
a good point, JT. Mm-hmm.
so excited about it, and then what if it's
Yeah.
that's true, JT.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we'll go ahead and get signed off here. We'll hang out for a bit after if you want to hang out for a little bit. But thanks for everybody tuning in. It was fun. It was good stuff tonight. Yeah, always a great time. And if you haven't, make sure you sign up for What's Your Beer with Todd and Shannon. And
Yes.
videos Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. So great stuff. Great watching the two of them together and going through their beginning stages of everything. And
One day it'll be
it's the conversational piece which makes it really fun and entertaining, just watching you guys kind of dialogue in between and stuff too. And of course the rock paper scissors is always a great showdown when they start off. So yeah. But we're gonna sign off here because one, I gotta go pee. Two, it's I gotta get them for the podcast, and I can't have it too long because the podcast is like you went too long. So yeah. But next Thursday, every Thursday night we do this. We get together, have some beers, have some fun, talk about different topics as you saw tonight. And sometimes they're beer, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's a mix of both. We drink the beer and we get into other things. So it's always a great time. Hopefully, as always, we put a smile on your face as you head into the Friday, head into the weekend. And we look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Anything you guys want to add there?
And a precursor, you can watch our show before our show on Thursday nights.
Todd
Okay.
being greedy.
No, that's what you got to do. You got to tell them what time are you doing the uploads? What time are the uploads?
And then watch us for 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, what's your beer? It says right there on the screen. It's a subsidiary of J BeerVentures. So, you got to work it in. But what time do you guys do the uploads on Tuesday and Thursday?
Don't. Like tonight.
Well, tonight was a botch, but usually it's before.
Hey, it's hard for me to commit to anything, and I committed to Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I cannot commit to a time.
Usually by 5, we'll say.
Yeah.
Usually.
But no, before 8 o'clock.
It's gonna be because we're gonna make some more videos beforehand. So.
Yeah. Just make sure you check out the channel, hit the alarm bell, and that way you're notified when they actually release the videos. And if you missed anything earlier, make sure you watch the replay. Or if you're doing stuff tomorrow, you want to listen, just pull it up, listen as a podcast. So,
like, comment, subscribe.
Yes. See.
Yeah.
There
you go. All that good stuff. That being said, you guys have a great weekend, and we look forward to catching up with you guys soon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.